Here we are. People could see us. People could hear us. People could smell us. They might be able to, I don't know, like reach out through the internet and like
No.
make contact with us on an ethereal plane.
No. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, you thought what were you gonna? I want to hear what you thought was gonna happen.
I thought it was like reach out and touch us, and I was gonna be like, no.
I was waiting for it because I grabbed a date and I was gonna be like, it's a date, and then
Boo!
He didn't go there.
All right.
Yeah, he really ghosted you on that date.
I don't get that. But that's okay.
Ethereal plane. See, it tied the two together.
Oh shit! Look at that. It's like, yeah, like
ethereal pain.
That's more correct. All right, welcome to the show. We're the Defenders of Cobalt, and we're here to play some Forbidden Lands. Continuing on with our Ravens Purge campaign. I don't know. We're going to go into the Eye of the Rose. That's where we ended up last time. And I also remember that I did not convey anywhere near the necessary information when the party was talking to an NPC. So we'll kind of retouch on the conversation that went over with that NPC here in a minute. But first, let's just go through and do a little bit of introductions. Sadly, Melissa was not able to make it tonight. So we'll just move on down and start with Jake. Tell us
I am Jake,
who you are and who you're playing.
I am Jake of the Defenders of Cobalt, and I am playing a goblin named Osborne. How cleverly named is that?
Does he? Never mind. Dan
with the Defenders of Cobalt, playing Steely Dan, the not really great thief with our little merchant group. We'll see if I can maybe help us with our upcoming sneaky mission here. Probably not.
Maybe. Who knows? On the other side, Friendon.
Hi, I'm Friendon. I draw things. You can watch me draw things at twitch.tv/Friendon. It's the same word, both places. And on top of that, I'm part of the Defenders of Cobalt. And we make stuff together, some of which other people will likely promote soon because I've already plugged one thing and doing more would be obnoxious. I'll be playing Amar Zahn, who's a stringent capitalist, and he kind of like will do anything for money, which is kind of the opposite of me as a person. So it's a bit cathartic to just be a ruthless, heartless, Jeff Bezosian fantasy character. Not gonna lie. There's some Schadenfreude going on as I thrust him into danger. So maybe we'll get him killed.
For introducing your character.
I tried.
You did it. Next up is Jeff.
Yep. Hey, I'm Jeff, Adventures in Lollygagging. I play various tabletop role-playing games on the internet at twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. And also right here on Free League Publishing channel every other Monday, including this coming Monday. Myself, Chuck, Dan, and a few others, we play Vaesen, so you can come check us out. I'm playing Waits, a dwarven minstrel who may or may not be modeled after Tom Waits, and is kind of Amar Zahn's old sort of partner in crime in a way. He just goes to places, sings some songs, makes a bunch of cash, and just throws money around like it's really no one's business. It's sort of what it's becoming at this point. I think I bought a wagon and a bunch of horses last time.
You did.
So.
You're making so much money. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Last, not least, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I'm with the Defenders of Cobalt, and nobody has talked about it yet, so I'm going to talk about the Halloween that's out right now. I don't know if Chuck can drop a link in chat to it. It's currently live on Drive-Thru RPG's site. We're going to fast follow this one with our second issue of our Dies in the End series, and then after that in December, you can look forward to a slightly earlier than the Halloween zine in terms of holiday-wise, a non-denominational holiday issue that we're going to be putting out. And today I am playing Urza, who is an orc, and is she an orc or is she an ogre? I think she's an orc. Yeah, she's an orc. I play an ogre and something else. But she's an orc, and she is just, all fists and fury and never say die, and is in pursuit of any young girl's dream of finding a bear that you can have as your riding partner for the rest of your life, and that's really what I'm looking for.
There you go. Very cool. All right, so last session we ended up with you all traveling down to the Eye of the Rose, what has been described to you as the seat of power of the Orcish Emperor Horka. I'm not going to pronounce that right. As you were traveling there, you were stopped before you got close by an elven druid by the name of Mergeline. And Mergeline had a plea for you. There's a group of elven warriors by the name of the Red Runners. The orcs, the Orc Emperor, has a powerful red ruby that the Red Runners want. So the deal is this. The Red Runners are going to attack the Eye of the Rose in the morning. They're going to kill everyone they can to get that ruby. The druid here is trying to prevent bloodshed, so they've pleaded and begged you, please, get in there, swap it out. And they gave you this fake red ruby, like a cubic zirconium of red rubies. And they're like, yeah, go swap these out. The orcs will never know. I can give the real ruby over to the Red Runners, who I may or may not be a member of, and peace can live on. No one has to die. No one has to get hurt. Mergeline says, how you enter the Eye of the Rose is up to you. The orcs do allow trade. So if you go in as merchants or whatnot, they might let you into the city. They might let you into the Eye of the Rose because the big main courtyard in the Eye of the Rose is where they kind of set up their trade market. Or if you can't come up with another plan to get access to it, I have heard rumors that there's a secret entrance into the Eye of the Rose. Let me see if this tool will work right so everyone on stream can see it. Did I do that right? Is it narrate? What's that command, Jeff?
It should be /narrate.
Oh, I did exclamation point. 4 divine kisses echo lazily. Flow speak, quiet wail. The god of clay the vessel shapes. The walker of night the serpent escapes. The fortress is entered through the yield of the tree. And they're like, I don't know exactly what that means, but that's, that's what I told you.
I think there's more to it than that. I did a lore check, and it's also, I've been kissed by a rose on the gray, and if I should fall, will it all go away? There's so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. This is a long, old tale of my people as well.
Yes. It's a wonderful song. Wonderful song.
I just shouted like baby really loud. I was muted.
I feel like, Jeff, in fairness, I feel like that really seals the deal.
Oh.
These puns are like a growing addiction you can't deny.
Okay. So, yeah.
As soon as I saw the poem, I knew I needed to do that. I've had that prep for like 20 minutes.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so that's, this druid. Get the eye, or get the ruby, and swap it out somehow. Orcs will never know, or if you just want to steal it. I don't care. I just need that ruby. That way, bloodshed won't happen in the morning. So yeah, and a couple of things that you would have also learned kind of about the Eye of the Rose is it was an old elven fortress setting over an ancient elven city. The elves, when they retreated further into the continent, abandoned it, and the orcs took over it. So it's now an orcish city living in the ruins of an old elven city. And the Eye of the Rose is an ancient elven fortress that the orcish emperor has made a seat of power. So yeah, that's kind of the relevant background information, I think. So yeah, you all find yourselves approaching the Eye of the Rose. There is a road. You find the road through the forest that leads into it. If you all kind of look down at the little tiny map, let me adjust the map that the stream sees real quick. Yeah, you can see kind of down on a little tiny map. You can kind of see the layout. They've got like a crude old wall that cuts through the gates. And then you can either, essentially take a right and it takes you into the old city, or you can take a left and it climbs up the crag, and you'll be able to get access to the fortress above. But yeah, the bard says if you head to the old city park in the city, somehow using that poem, you're able to get access into the fortress. So
does it look like from where we're standing as we get in there that there's any fortification or scouting going on between us and the non-fortified walls towards the park? Like, or is most of the attention to the left there?
You have not come across any orcish patrols, anything like that. You actually haven't seen anyone in the road approaching it. And as you get closer to that wall with the gates through the large wall, you don't see any kind of guard or anything there as well.
That could be advantageous for us.
There it is. I lost my White Claw for a second.
Oh,
Never
close.
do that again. It's scary.
I know. Oh, it's watermelon too.
You lose the claw, you lose it all. That's what they say.
Truth.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So what's going on?
Speaking of losing it all, yeah. Do we want to scout ahead to the park?
Yeah, we can do that.
I think that makes sense.
All right. I have one less agility to do stealth checks with this game because I realized I created my character wrong and I only had one strength and died immediately, which you're not supposed to be able to do in the rule book. So I fixed that.
Okay,
And
good.
I have one less agility now and 2 strength. So
good.
I'm not sure if I'm the stealthiest again.
So real quick to kind of help you guys out, seeing as we are working with the time limit, we're going to say it's morning time right now.
Okay.
We have 24 hours. Basically.
You've got 24 hours.
Go.
I have an entire 3 dice for stealth, but I do have a spyglass, so I can help scout. That might help with scouting. I guess scouting's wits. Sorry. So yeah, I could do scouting. I have a 5 in wits. And
Okay.
Real quick. No more talking stat numbers.
Okay.
So when we want to say, like, I think I'm real stealthy or something, like, just say it.
I like that, yeah.
We don't need to compare numbers. It kind of breaks the flow of the gameplay.
All right.
Sure.
I, as the sneaky capitalist, then I'd like to lurk forward into the shadows of the park.
Okay. So the park is in kind of the center of the city. You move into the city. How are you? Are you wanting to try and stay hidden from any populace in the city itself? Because the city, there are orcs. You can kind of see them moving around here and there, going about their daily lives, just like any other town, village you've come across.
I think our best bet is maybe to like Assassin's Creed it, right? Like get lost in the crowds. We've got an orc with us. Like blend in with the populace as much as we can.
Yeah, you do see, it is predominantly orcs, but it is not only orcs. There's also decent populations. You see plenty of humans. You see goblins. You don't so much see any elves or dwarves. But orcs, humans, goblins, maybe the occasional halfling.
I have any chance of disguising myself as something not an elf?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do a basic just.
I have a talent for it.
Oh yeah. Well, if you got a talent for it, yeah. I mean, absolutely, you could, cover your ears in some way and kind of obscure your face a little bit, so that way you just pass as human or something.
I've got a cloak he could use to sort of wear it like a mantle over his ears.
So,
and if all else fails, you can pretend to be my captured slave. I can pretend to have you captured.
I have Path of the Face ranked to Master of Disguise and can easily assume the appearance of others.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, sure. You're able to, pass as human.
Turtly enough for their turtle club.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just if I'm understanding this correctly, those of you Dan, I think you're the only elf in the group.
Yep, and that's why I'm trying to not look that way.
Yeah,
there doesn't seem to be any of them around.
Yeah. You're able to move through the city without really any. No one notices. You're kind of pulling off the nonchalant. You're supposed to be there. No one really pays you any mind. But you do, as you move through, you do see businesses. You see, taverns, inns, maybe a couple, craftsman shops here and there. Now the Elven City is in disrepair. The orcs have moved in, but they have not been taking care of it, and they have not been improving everything. So the buildings are dilapidated. Just bare minimum repairs to just make it livable. The elves had this all decked out with lawn care, foliage, whatnot. It's all either overgrown or just completely dead. So it's almost looks kind of shanty like. It's in real rough condition, but it doesn't seem to faze the orcs too much. So yeah, you make your way kind of towards the center of town, and eventually you find yourself at the city park. It's still early in the morning. Let's see. In the old Overground Park, it's in rough shape. Grass is overgrown. It doesn't look like anyone actually comes here. The old paths have long been lost, but you can kind of see towards the center of it, towards kind of closer to the base of the crag. It looks like there's a building there. I wouldn't say a large building, but it's not a shed by any means. Doesn't seem to be like mausoleum size. But looks like almost looks like like a single room, like old schoolhouse or something like that, with the steep pitched roof. Although this is made of like stone, it looks like maybe it had some intricate stained glass or whatnot in it at some point. But you can kind of see it off in the distance in this park. Gonna make your way there?
I think so, yeah.
Seems the most obvious thing. Is there anything of note between us and it that looks like it should be stopped and looked at, or
old stone bits here and there, overgrown vegetation. I mean, it's absolutely in disrepair. It does not look like the orcs are using this or even coming here. So
this is some Roman Colosseum topple down ruin kind of stuff in the park.
Kind of.
Columns.
Do we see anyone in the park or anyone near that little schoolhouse thing? Okay.
No. I mean, you're alone here. So yeah, you move up, and it's actually you come across it as a chapel. And the elves in this area, they worshipped the 4 old deities. Those deities would be, and I've got some notes that I can share with you all. Let's make sure you can all see these. So they would be the gods Clay. I'm going to show this to everyone. Flow. The Nightwalker. And Whale. And each one had their own kind of pantheon to it. So Whale was the goddess of the air. The Nightwalker is the oldest of the gods, the untamable forces of nature. The Flow is the goddess of water.
And insurance.
And Clay is the god who shaped the world at the Protector's behest.
Are these
referenced? Sorry, I was going to say they're all referenced in that little...
Yeah, are these... So, I'm sorry, are these statues, or are they...
This is a temple. You would have seen temples like this.
It's a temple, okay.
And you know that the elves in this area worship those gods specifically. So you can see like the inscribed on the stone around the opening of this temple, you can see the little symbols for these gods.
I'd like to take a good long look at this and try and remember what these symbols look like.
Okay, sure. I'll show you do. Yeah, you spend a few minutes. Maybe you got a piece of paper and you do a light, relief or whatever it is. Yeah.
And where You said park, right?
Yeah.
You said like, okay, are we in the park right now? This temple
Yeah.
is in the park.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we're likely near the entrance to this like secret spot. I'm going to do something slightly stupid. Where is this symbol located? Like, or like, let's say the symbol for whale.
Yeah.
Where is the symbol for whale located?
We'll say, like, if you're looking at the front of this, you have not gone into the chapel yet. There's no door on the chapel. It's long since rotted away. But as you're looking at the front of this building, you can see flanking the door, top right is Clay, top left is Flo, bottom right is Whale, bottom left is the Nightwalker.
Okay. This is going to be stupid. I'm going to walk up to Whale and I'm going to just go shh into it. Does anything happen or do I just look stupid?
I will just put it as nothing happens.
Thank you.
I'm going to walk up to you and just ask, was the stone speaking to you?
It does speak to me.
I'm going to turn to Waits and be like,
Are we outside? I couldn't.
Yeah, you're outside. You haven't gone inside yet.
Is there a door going
Yeah.
inside?
Well, there was a door. Now it's just the door frame. The door is long since rotted and fallen away.
I'll start going inside.
Okay.
I'll follow.
You go inside.
Yeah, I'm just trying to read through these little notes still.
Inside, let's see. The vines have kind of taken root here. There's actually 4 stone statues standing in the chamber, one in each corner of the room.
Do they have any, like, do they repeat this? Do we see the symbols or anything on them?
You do see the symbols, and actually they look to be depictions of the 4 gods. One stands in each corner. It does look like one of the statues is actually damaged.
Okay.
Let's see which one. It is going to be Flo. The head of Flo has been cracked. Now each one of these statues stands kind of like hand on their sternum, kind of hand held up with their mouth slightly open. It almost looks like they're singing in some form or chanting or something like that. But the head of Flo has been cracked and part of the jaw has kind of fallen off.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find Whale and I'm going to blow into Whale's mouth.
You move up to Whale and you blow into his mouth. And it kind of responds almost like how when you blow into like a beer bottle or a jug, it comes back with a specific tone. It comes back with a deep kind of musical tone, just a flat tone.
I look at Waits.
Yeah. Does it sound like it's a good pitch? Does it sound out of key or anything like that?
No, it sounds like a good pitch.
I'm gonna go look at a different one then, and so. That was, which one was that?
That was Whale.
That was Whale.
Whale.
Okay, I'll go to Clay, I guess.
Okay.
So does it have the kind of same setup where it's like
they're all in the exact same identical position, stance? Looks like they're singing or something like that.
So I'll look over at Amar and I'll be like, "Well, she's a nutball. I guess I am too." And so I'll kind of sort of do the same thing. I'll kind of mimic, like, really, I'm not sure about this, but I'll do it and see if anything happens.
She blew in the mouth of the statue. Do you do the same?
Let's see. What am I at? Clay, God of Vessel shapes. I mean, if it looks like a hollow kind of instrument thing, then yeah, I guess I will.
And it produces back another note, like maybe like a full step down in pitch.
Okay.
We just want to try and do all 4 of them at the same time.
Yeah, I just hope this isn't music to my fears here. Let's go ahead and...
So, yeah, you all move up to a statue, and each of you blows, and the Nightwalker, Clay, and Whale all produce a tone. and it's all actually it's producing a chord, so it's all the full steps or half steps to make a musical chord. But whoever blows into wail, it does not produce any sound.
You mean flow with the broken?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
flow.
flow.
Yeah.
Can I switch with whoever was doing that? And is it possible, knowing my deep musical knowledge, can I kind of get an idea for what note would probably fit within this chord?
Sure. Yeah, you're a minstrel. You know basic music composition stuff. I'll say you're able, like, it sounds like for this chord it's missing this note.
Okay. So I have like a flute, so I'll see if I can kind of reproduce the sound.
Okay.
Play the note.
Yeah.
I'll swap with your position then and take your statue, maybe. Let's say.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. Just give me a performance test, but you're real good at this. So just take a base
Sure.
+2 base bonus to it.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Successes.
Nice.
You play the note. The 4 notes create the proper chord and harmony, and a door in the back of the chapel slides open, revealing a hallway behind it.
Hooray.
Good job, Waits. You really aced that base.
That's what I'm missing.
I mean, I saw all the signs. So
And it opened up the door.
it did. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna start going. And hopefully, Amar. I'm like, Amar, don't turn around. They're gonna follow us. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm going with weights, but reluctantly.
That's great. You all move in. It's a kind of a narrowish tunnel, just carved into stone. It kind of climbs here and there, makes a couple turns here and there, and eventually it opens up into this other hall. It stands ceilings maybe 20, 30 feet tall, 20-ish feet wide. It's kind of long. At the far end of the hall, directly across from you, is a stone door. It's just like an archway for a door with just this stone slab in its place. And you can see on the walls to your left and right, there are the faces engraved into the walls of the 4 gods. So on your right is Clay and Flo. On your left is Whale and the Nightcrawler.
Okay, so we used whales in the last room, so we shouldn't use whale this time. So it's something else.
Examining the statue, the faces this time, are there any obvious like orifices that one could jam clay into, like earth into? Like what are we looking at in terms of holes in mugs?
Each of these reliefs have their mouths open, and you can actually it's a recess in it, like a small cubby in their mouths. And it looks to be like you look inside and they look to be, decently anatomical. Like you see tongue, you see teeth, you see the little dangly thing way in the back.
Tell me more about this dangly thing.
It's just like a little boop.
I don't think you, Vila, want to know about that.
Oh, that's the name of it.
There it is. I had the name, but
I'll see about that.
So if it's not in 4 divine kisses, echo hazily flow.
I think
speak.
that's the first room. Probably was
Right.
Does
Quiet.
someone want to pour water into their mouths?
You're
That's
muted.
what. I'm seeing.
Brendan, you're not muted. Your audio is like super delayed.
Was it?
For me, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Jen and I were both talking,
we-
so maybe we overlapped.
Yeah, what were you saying? What were you saying, Ray?
I was just agreeing with you that my thought was open mouths looks like they have a throat. I say we toss some fluid down there and see what happens.
That's gross. Let's do it.
Okay. You
Okay, I have another idea if this doesn't work. Yeah.
got your water skin and you just squirt some water. Where are you squirting the water? Into whose mouth?
Oh, I thought we'd try all of them, but we should try maybe flow first to see what happens.
Okay.
Before we waste water.
You squirt some water into Flo's mouth and nothing happens.
Maybe it does have to be all of them at once in this instance.
Well, I'll pull out my water skin as well and head over to Whale because apparently Whale's my god. So
Okay.
I'm going with the flow on this one.
I'll take Clay.
I'll go ahead and take the other one then.
Okay.
Why not?
You each move up and you squirt some water into the mouth of these. Make sure to reduce your water by a die size doing this,
Sure.
and nothing happens.
Do we roll for it or just reduce it?
Just reduce it.
Okay.
So what else is in the room other than these?
There's the door, and then there's the reliefs on the walls. The giant, carvings of the gods' faces.
Right.
And if you want, I mean, someone could, do some inspection. What would that be? That would be a wits test of some form. We could call it, insight or lore or something like that.
I'm pretty okay with insight. Does anyone else want to be insightful in this moment?
I'm pretty decent with the lore, but that's about it.
I think I would follow your lead. You figured out the statues first. I think my character I'd be like, hey, she knew what was going on before anybody else. Why don't you take a crack at this?
You gonna push that? No, you don't.
This one escapes me. I have no idea.
So yeah, Urza goes and checks out the faces, like they're faces with holes. I squirted water in it, and nothing happened.
Would I still be able to make a lore test, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you go and you're inspecting them, kind of thinking about, if you've heard of anything like this. And as you're looking in there, you're kind of moving between the faces, and you look in the mouth of the clay,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, all right, it is what it is. You move to the mouth of the Nightcrawler. Finally, you get to the mouth of Flo, and there's a clear seam around the base of the tongue, where the other ones all seem to be carved out of a single piece of rock. The tongue of Flo is looks like it's been made out of a separate piece of rock.
Like we could move it or toggle it or something, perhaps.
If you want to try something,
Sure.
what are you going to do?
Well, I'll just kind of see if it moves or anything like that first, or.
Okay. You go and you put your hand on the tongue and you give it a little wiggle, and eventually you can feel when you wiggle, it's got a little give to it, and you end up pushing down, and you hear this click, and all of a sudden, somewhere in the distance, you hear a low rumbling noise. And this low rumbling continues on for 30 or 40 seconds. And then the stone slab door at the end of the hall opens up.
Okay, so that probably explains Flo speaks, the tongue flaps.
So,
Okay.
We can puzzle our way into the next room.
Yeah.
yeah, you move into the next room, and it's a 2-tier room. You're standing on the lower tier when you enter it. Along the right wall are stairs along the wall that go up to a platform, like a balcony over the top. And you can see at the back of this balcony, there's another door. Here on this bottom floor, there's all sorts of strange red thorn vines kind of sprouting up between the cracks on the floor. But the door on the balcony, you can see it's open, like it's just a passageway through.
So we have like a clear path to it?
Yeah.
We just need to move through here quietly? I mean, is that all it is?
If that's what you want to do.
I'm willing to give it a shot. Yep.
Okay. You move along the
I'm
wall.
going to turn to everybody else and be like, he's going on his own. That's risky.
Yeah. I'm willing to screw up a little bit.
So move up to the stairs. You move up the stairs. You move to the platform.
I'm going with him too
Okay.
because I've got a lot of strength. So if I take any damage, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you make it to the doorway. It's another hallway continuing further on, and absolutely nothing happens.
I'll just kind of.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone makes it up, and you all continue through deeper into this little hidden passage. Eventually, you come across another small room. It's smaller than the first room. It's got 4 statues, 2 on each wall. Across from you is an opening. So it's like small square room, statues on each side of the 4 gods, with an opening directly across you, and you can see this opening directly across you opens into a larger room.
So there's I'm sorry, there's statues on the walls, or they're like reliefs, friezes?
These are statues. Statues,
Okay.
like Clay and Flo standing on the left wall, and Whale and Nightwalker on the right wall. And directly across from you on the wall straight ahead is a doorway, an open door that moves into a larger room.
I feel like we're being baited.
I mean, it seems like at this point, Clay would be who we should look into. Just following the little poem. Does Clay have
if it works that way? Yeah.
like maybe their hands or something? Like if they're shaping like a vessel, like a pot or something?
Yeah, is Clay holding something?
No, they're all you got their hands in like a prayer position.
Do their like hands or arms or something look like they could move, perhaps?
Give me that lore test again.
1 success.
No, they all seem to be solid.
Okay.
Nothing. I'm sorry. Did Dan already look at like the actual statue of Clay?
Yeah, he moved in and inspected them all.
Okay.
Too obvious for it to be the same as the first one.
Okay.
Now the passage does continue on, so at this point there's nothing preventing you from just walking through.
Don't look. I'd be down with poking my head a little further while people inspect the statues, just to like slinking ahead a bit.
Yeah.
So the statues, they have open. Do they have like open mouths again?
Yes.
Okay.
And Friendon, when you kind of peek through and you look, you can see it's a long hall with a open door on the far end. But set into the walls are hundreds of small reliefs of the 4 gods, and they have all got their mouths open wide.
Oh, probably something that shoots stuff unpleasant out at you.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and tell everybody, like, I think if we don't get this right in here, there may be some pin cushioning happening in a corridor ahead of us.
Okay.
Gotta get Indiana Jonesed.
I'm not jonesing to find out.
There it is.
Okay. I mean, flow speak, quiet well, god of clay the vessel shapes, and the walker of night the serpent escapes.
So yeah, and the god of clay is all about literally creating things with soil, like objects of clay. So
Perhaps there's dirt or something in here that we could.
It's old enough. You can find loose, kind of old mortar. Kind of, not like a lot of it, but you can find some here and there in the room.
what if we backtrack to the room that had the vines? Is there open dirt in there?
There's not. They're growing
up?
up through the cracks, but you can kind of spend a handful of minutes and maybe scrape out a handful of dirt from between the cracks of the stone.
Okay. I'm going to take that dirt and I'm going to drop it in the mouth of clay, since we're doing mouth things over and over again here. Not enough that it's going to like clog it and fuck this up if it's not right, but I want to get a decent amount of dirt in there.
Bit, yeah.
Nothing happens.
I might like to go back to the previous room,
Okay.
if possible.
Okay.
You said it was like a 2-tiered room. Like,
Yeah.
do I notice? Like, can I roll for insights to see if there's any place that maybe, like, water could flow like down something?
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what. I won't even make you roll. Standing from the top tier, looking down, you can actually see that there is a large grate in the bottom of the floor, kind of in the center, kind of hidden by the vines. And one thing I didn't mention before, but I should have, is that this room is kind of damp and wet. Like everything's got some water residue on it, you know, maybe from some of
Okay.
these vines.
Water
There's some
temple
water
time.
drops.
Maybe we need some of that too. Make clay. Perhaps.
I go back in and I let folks know in the other room. I say like, hey, like I think there's more back here too that we want to take a look at, and maybe I'll make my way down to the grate and take a closer look at the grate.
Sure. You go and you check out the grate. You can actually see maybe a couple of feet down. It's just like this tunnel, or not tunnel, but drainage tube thing. A couple feet down, you can see there's water. If you get the feeling if this room would have been full of water, it would have drained out from here. And maybe that explains that rumbling noise you heard when you pushed the tongue of flow. So, if we look at the poem again,
I know.
4 divine kisses echo hazily. So when you blew in the mouths of the statues, they echoed hazily. Flow, speak. You pushed the tongue of flow, and it made a weird noise, and then the door opened. And then after that is quiet wail. Then there's the god of clay, the vessel shape. And then the walker of night, the serpent escapes.
So I think we jumped ahead. I don't think we actually did quiet wail. I think the last one was flow speak, and we were jumping ahead thinking we were on clay because the first line was outside. The second line was the first one. So I think it's actually wail.
Yeah.
So can I peek at the whale statue and see if there's anything? Or has that already been
you all have looked over
answered?
it. You look at, there's nothing seems to jump out of you. It is look like they all have their mouths open slightly.
Does it have like the actual like tongue and uvula and stuff inside still?
Sure, yeah. You look in there and it's well carved. Yeah.
Close the mouth.
Can I? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say close the mouth. I was actually gonna rip the tongue out, but close. Let's start with that. Is it possible to close?
It is
the mouth?
a stone statue. So like if you go and you push on the jaw, the bottom of the jaw, nothing happens.
Is it possible to like pull on or remove the tongue in some way?
You can reach in and you give it. It's carved into the statue. You could probably break it off, but
I'd like to stuff a large object into the mouth, like a cloth, my cloak. I'll take my cloak off and jam it in there.
Okay, so as you have your cloak and you're jamming it into the mouth, you push the last bit in, and your hand just kind of goes flat over the face. And you can feel the statue move under your hand. As soon as you put your hand over the mouth of the statue, the mouth of whale closes. So the stone kind of magically moves itself.
Eating your cloak forever.
Yeah, your cloak is gone now.
Nom, 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 nom.
Well, that's a bummer. I'll call this a cloak and dragger.
Can I peek into the room that Amar looked in before and see if that did anything in here?
Yeah, you look and you see all the little reliefs of the gods carved in the walls, and there's hundreds of them. But you notice that all of the ones of whale have their mouths closed.
I don't know what was going to happen. I think that might have done it.
Maybe we need to close the other mouths as well.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah, you go
There
over
are
and
more on the wall.
and nothing happens when you cover the other mouths.
Okay. I think you're right, Waits.
Yep. We should definitely send Danny forward, see if everything's okay.
Sure.
I'll go.
Wait, hold on. Can I down this hallway? Is it possible for me to take one of my let's say my deer leather? I'll take like a deer leather, and I'll just kind of toss it down the hallway and see what happens.
You do that, and nothing happens.
Okay. I would like to step into the hallway. I have so much strength. I'll step into the hallway. Okay, go ahead.
I'll give you my shield.
Oh, a little extra defense. Sure thing. Urza, you step in armed with the shield, and nothing happens. You can see,
slowly make my way down the corridor.
At the far end of the corridor is another opening.
I turn around and I'm like, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. I think it was just going to be Whale that attacked us.
Okay.
I give a thumbs up and I cross the hallway.
You all make it
Thank you for your
through.
shield, Osborne.
At the other end, it's a short hallway followed by a set of narrow stone stairs. And these stairs, you're climbing these stairs for like 5 or 10 minutes. Just a ridiculous long amount of walking. Like, you finally get up to the top and your thighs are burning. But you enter in this room. It's maybe the size of the last room with the statues in, the well room. And it's kind of the same setup where you're in this small square room. There's a statue standing, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, with a closed door directly in front of you. But this one, in front of each statue, is a clay urn. So there's the 4 statues: Clay, Flo, Whale, and the Nightwalker. And there's a small urn standing in front of each one.
What's the composition of the floor like here?
Just stone. Just cobblestone like the rest of the dungeon so far.
All the urns are intact and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there anything in them?
You move up and you open, and they're all empty. Maybe some dust, a few dead bugs or something like that, but empty for what it's worth.
I'm going to turn to the group and say, well, I've always been an earner, and I'm going to dump the soil that I have left into Clay's urn and see what happens.
Say that again.
I say to the group, well, I've always been an earner, and I dump the soil that I have left over from the other room into Clay's urn.
Nothing happens.
Drat's soiled again.
Is there anything on the urns, like any sort of like engraving or artwork?
No, they're actually very, very plain.
This is the cup of a carpenter.
And so there's like one urn in front of each of the statues of the. Is that what you said? Of the.
Yep, in front of each statue there is a clay urn, and they all look identical.
God of clay.
Maybe we remove the urns from the other statues and leave it just for Clay.
It's good thinking. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all, they're Asheradel high, and get you some good points. And you can unlock random emotes, including some of ours. Let me get there. You'll see our emotes, and you'll just love them. Where are they at? They're right here. Boop, 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 boop. And there they are. You pick up all of the urns, except for the one in front of Clay, and they pick up no trouble, and you set them in front of Clay, and nothing happens.
Is there anything? Were they sitting on anything like
just on the
pedestals or
ground?
anything? Just on the ground.
Yeah.
Might be beneficial to just pick his up too and see if there's anything underneath it.
Sure thing. So, Steely Dan goes to pick up Clay's urn, and it doesn't move. It's like it's attached to the ground.
Oh.
I'll try picking up Flo's urn.
Everyone else has already picked up the other urns.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And put them in front of Clay's urn. So all the other urns have been moved, which is very odd because they all just regular urns just sitting on the ground. But Clay's urn is attached. Yep.
Try and grab
Shradel.
hold of it.
Yeah.
Shove it down.
You grab a hold of it and you push it down, and nothing happens. You can feel it's got a little itty bitty little bit of wiggle to it.
Can I rotate it or anything?
Yes. So wait, you walk up and you rotate it, and it rotates, and eventually it clicks, and the door to the room opens up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Teamwork. So totally not relevant to the moment at hand, but I didn't bother asking. It's pitch dark in here. I should have probably brought that up earlier because you all probably need to see what you're doing. How are you all seeing what you're doing?
I've got a lantern and some oil.
Okay. Are y'all just?
Is that enough for all of us to
I
see
would
by
say
our ship?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
I was like, I don't think I have any torches somehow.
I'm not super familiar. Are there any special like vision abilities for different races?
I don't know.
Okay. Never mind then. We don't have to worry about it.
There are I'm not sure if vision's anyone on the elf, because I know that I have like a dwarf talent for True Grit, so I think you should have one like ancestral talent of some kind.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and we rolled random for that ancestral talent. So yeah, it would depend on your specific orc if you can see in the dark or not.
Okay.
Okay, so lead us to the next door. Do we hear a door opening? I couldn't see it for a second.
Yeah, no, the door opened to the next room or the next hallway. Do you all proceed through?
Sure.
Yes.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah.
There are going to be so many snakes in this room.
You move along.
Probably.
And eventually the hallway just very abruptly widens. Maybe an extra, 6 feet on each side. And I would say Jake Osborne's probably leading, seeing as you're the one with the lantern. Mm-hmm. And you see immediately as you kind of step in, or maybe you don't step into it, but you kind of stop when it widens suddenly. And you can see there are, along the walls here, are reliefs of just the Nightwalker's face. And each one of them is carved into the wall with its mouth wide open.
Jeez. I think here's where the serpent escapes.
Like the other rooms, there's something we can do maybe to prevent that. Right?
Could be.
I presume we prevented bad stuff from happening. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a good assumption.
Walker, night, the serpent escapes.
I don't like when serpents are free generally.
Yeah.
Seems like the sort of thing we'd want to keep from happening for sure.
Can we maybe look and see if there's any way to light torches in this room or bring more light into this room?
There's no sconces or anything into the wall. So it would just be any light that you bring with you to move across this long, dark hallway with the Nightwalker's faces on each side.
Do you think it wants more light or less light? Like, does the Walker of Night, the serpent escapes? Does that mean at night it escapes? Or does it mean like darkness and such? Or does it mean, without darkness it escapes? It makes sense? I'm not just rambling.
No, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think being dark in here is a bad idea. I'm gonna light a torch and shine it into one of the orifices that's closest without stepping far in front of all of them at the same time.
I'm gonna hold his belt as he leans in. I got you.
You light your torch and you lean into the room. And as soon as the light kind of spills into the room, you hear a hissing noise.
Fuck.
Damn
So
it.
maybe it's better dark than light.
Yep.
Why did I get... Oh, it added it up. God damn.
Oh my.
Please don't be 22
was
snakes.
never seen.
22 snakes
Oh no.
start pouring out of the
Let's
mouths.
Why'd it have to be snakes?
Always snakes.
It's always snakes. Oh, I can't do that there. Sorry, stream.
Osborne begins freaking out. Oh god, do we cheese it through this thing?
That's an option.
And we kite them back through the corridor and take them out one by one.
They are...
Bigger they.
They're not large snakes. They're like... I say they're not large. It depends on your threshold of snake. But they're not monstrously large. They're like...
Oh, Chuck, I can take a lot of snake.
I don't know. Think like a black snake or rattlesnake size, maybe that 3 to 4 foot in length, and maybe 2 to 3 inches in diameter.
Are they coming at us?
They're all slithering out of the mouths, lining this hallway, and it looks like they're definitely looking your direction and starting to work your way.
Start throwing some oil and lighting some fires.
Okay. Is that you're going to use some oil to kind of make a little barrier? And
That's what I was thinking.
okay. I'll tell you what. I'll let you do so.
Set up the oil. I got the
And
fire.
I'll ready my
switch over
spear.
My lantern.
Okay.
Sure thing. All right. So I guess that means it's time for initiative with 22 snakes. This is going to be exciting.
Oh boy.
This is going to hurt.
Can't wait to roll
Yeah.
on your characters.
Oh, I got to deal cards. I'm like, how do I roll initiative in this again? It's cards.
Yeah, I get 3 of them to start with,
Yeah.
and then
3
just fuck
cards
everything up.
to Dan. Dan, pick your card.
Yep. I've got my card picked.
Oh, did everyone get cards?
I did not.
I got a card.
Oh, well, hopefully you didn't get a good one.
Oh my gosh, why does it do this? Dan, I accidentally dealt you another card.
I only see 3. So.
Well, then don't worry about it. Okay. Does everyone have a card? Jeff?
I have got one.
Jeff
I have
doesn't
not
have
gotten
a
one.
card. Jeff, take a card.
You get a card, and you get a card.
Brendan, take a card. Do you guys have cards
I am
now?
also without card.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'm the only one who got one.
Yeah, I didn't get anything yet, Chuck.
Nothing. Hang on. The little macros are dumb. Jake, Jeff, Jen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deal. All right, does people have cards now? Oh my gosh, screw
See
cards.
a big old blue deck
You
on
could
the.
you could draw them into your own hand, like, and just say our name, draw one, and that's
Okay.
the number.
Friendin, I'm drawing a card. It didn't give me a card either.
I got a 1.
That
There you
is okay. I give up. Everyone just roll a d10.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Dan, roll d10 3 times.
I have his token selected, that's why.
Okay.
Oh yeah, same here.
Same.
Why do you want to?
I think I'm the 5. I think I was the first. So.
Okay, let's see. Dan, you're going to get that 4. Jake, you got
I think I was also 10 as well.
We'll deal with that in a second then. Friendin, what did you get?
2.
Did I not add you? You got a 2. You already got your 2 entered. Jeff, what did you get?
5.
5. All right. Jake and Jen, Melissa's not here. I'm gonna
Thanks,
remove.
Bert. Bert threw us some bits.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome!
Thanks, Bert.
Nice.
That's
Bert's
kick-ass.
good people.
Everyone gets a WP, whatever the name of the thing is. Jake and Jen, you each got a 10. Which one of you has the highest number of a score for agility?
I got 3.
I also have a 3.
Fuck. All right.
Good luck.
My move is also 3.
Jake, you're getting a 9.
I'm good going last anyway. I have stuff that allows me to jump turn order.
So, friend, let's set the screen. You all took a minute. You, yeah, they are Bert. I'm already getting them old age penalties. You take a minute. You spread out this oil kind of in front of you, and kind of that way you're kind of in the doorway into this large hall, and you light it on fire. So there's barrier of fire between you and the snakes right now. The 22 snakes.
A lot of snakes.
It is a shitload of snakes. So yeah, Friendin, what is Amar doing?
Amar is going to, using his talent to fast action shoot his bow, is just going to start short bowing snakes. He's just going to stand on the other side of the fire and short bow snakes. I'm just Dark Soulsing this as much as I can.
Sure thing. Go ahead and make me an attack.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to be tracking. These things got 1 hit point and no armor.
So it's been 2 weeks. I cannot remember on this particular character sheet. Do I click marksman for a range shot?
No, go to
or do
gear.
I click my weapon somewhere?
Combat.
Go to gear.
Yeah. Or
Oh.
combat, I'm sorry. Yes.
Combat.
correct.
Okay, I was in the gear tab. That's why it wasn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
okay.
my bad.
Cool. I was like, I thought I clicked weapon in this. All right. A success.
Okay. You reduce the number from 21 or 22 to 21 snakes.
Hooray.
Pretty soon, these snakes won't be of legal drinking age.
Yeah.
Aha. That's what we're after.
All right, Steely Dan, what's the plan?
Until I have a better idea of what exactly is going on, I'll basically just do the same thing. I'm just gonna shoot one of them and
Sure,
see
make your
what
attack.
they do. Oh boy,
You gonna push that?
why not?
Okay, you miss wildly. Jeff,
So are we at range of them still?
you're at. There's a fire between you, so there's going to be like the snakes haven't moved up yet. So you'll be working in ranged attacks unless you want to hop over the fire with a move check and engage in some melee combat.
Yeah, I don't have any ranged weapons, so I'll go ahead and I'll just do for my action, I'll do Path of the Warcry.
Okay.
I'll spend 3 willpower, give everyone a +3 until my next turn, and if you roll an attack.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, it is now the snakes. I'm using our creepy demon bear token for the snakes.
Phil
These snakes.
Collins. Forgot we named him that.
Dear Lord, there's 21 snakes. They're all going to slither and hiss and come directly towards you, but they're stopped by the fire. I'm going to do some.
Would you say that they are arm's length away at this point?
What weapon do you have?
My spear?
Yes, for your spear, yes.
Cool.
Make
When they
your-
move into arm's length, I'm a stabby stab.
All right, make
And-
your. We'll call it that. So make your free +3 arm length stabby stab.
So do I get, how many of these stabs do I get?
Just one, and that actually is your slow action for the round.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to make that attack, please.
I think
now.
you basically.
Yeah, you reduce it to 20 snakes. I'm going to roll a die. 8 of the snakes realize that they are hindered by the fire on the ground. So they start slithering their way towards the wall.
These snakes are smarter than some other combatants we faced.
4 of the snakes say fuck it and try to make their way through the fire. I'm going to... God, there's no way they can go through the fire without getting burned. So they just grill themselves.
With your spear, that's like some good snake kebab.
Right.
And then the remaining 8 snakes wait outside the fire. Yes, their strategy is quite lit. Jake, what is Harry going to do? Osborne going to do?
Yeah, he used to be Harry, but not so much these days.
Yeah.
So, I think similar tactic. No, because I mean, the only ones who would be within reach of him are already dead. So, let me see what gear I've got that could. Nope, nothing to really help me out there. So, I think I will prepare my shield, look back at everybody, and say, "We gotta run for it."
Okay. And if you all want to, so I'll put it out on the table. If you all want to make a run for it, you're going to have to make me a move test. And I'm going to make it at a -2 penalty. 1, because you're leaping through the fire, and 2, because you're trying to dodge snakes. And if you fail, you'll either have to deal with snakes or fire. So, Osborne leans back and asks the question, passing the turn to Urza. Urza, you've already used your slow action to attack a snake.
I have a question. Can I do a fast action?
Yeah.
So, no, never mind. I was looking to see. I saw swing weapon, but swing weapon is actually a combo into a slow action. Yep. I'm just gonna stay here.
Okay.
This is a safe spot to be. I'm not dumb.
Sure. Turn then passes back up to Amar.
Go in here. Amar has the ability to run and shoot at the same time. It's one of my talents.
Okay.
So I'm going to just try to get in the best position possible and a little further away, like still in my range band, but preparing for the potentiality of snakes coming through fire. I'm going to run and shoot again.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Short bow.
Yep.
2 successes.
You take out another snake. There's now 7 snakes waiting. Hey there, Arsharadel. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. The little token icons we're using are actually from the Zweihander RPG. I was one of the Twitch streamers for Zweihander for a while, and they made me some tokens to use in games, and I've just stolen them because they're wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, you move back, you shoot, you drop another snake. Now there are 15 snakes, 8 of them crawling towards the wall, and 7 of them waiting outside of the fire for you all to make a move. Steely Dan.
This is among the least exciting of combats, I think. So we'll shoot at one of the snakes that's making its way towards the wall.
Say that again. You're going to attack one of the snakes going towards the wall?
Yep.
Sure thing.
Short sword would not be a good choice for that. Success.
Sure, you drop one of those snakes. We're at 14 snakes.
Don't forget you get the +3, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think
matter,
it'll turn into
successful.
any more successful snake killing than this, but
Yeah.
unless I can multi-shoot some snakes with more successes.
I think there's other things you can do with stuns sometimes. I think you can sometimes like mess with initiative, but it's probably not going to affect us here.
I'll back up a little bit since the snakes are trying to this neck up on us.
Jeff, what is Waits going to do?
Wade's gonna back up a few paces. He's gonna bust out his one of his weapons, and he's just going to continue singing. You know, he's just gonna.
Okay.
You gotta cry and fill her up and check that oil. You know it could be your distributor, and it could be your coil.
Wonderful.
And I'm just gonna sing Tom Waits lyrics.
There you go.
The whole adventure.
Wonderful.
So plus 2. I'm just gonna do 2 this time.
Okay. The 7 snakes start slithering up the walls, looking like they're going to try and just climb around the walls and drop down onto you. The 7 snakes waiting for the fire distribute their spacing a little bit more evenly. Jake, what are you going to do?
You know what? I like character creation well enough in this game, so I'm gonna try to jump over the fire and run down the hall.
Okay, give me a move test. -2 penalty.
-2 penalty. Click the thing. Let yeah, there we go. -2.
No, it's the game master.
Bullet. Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you leap over the fire, past the snakes, and you make it kind of halfway across this hall.
And as I do so, I go, come along, snakes, come on!
Sure, we'll see if they take your goad. All right. Next up is Jen. Jen, what is Urza going to do?
Okay, so am I like kind of close to the wall? Am I a little close to these snakies climbing up the wall?
Yeah, I'll say you could probably reach a couple of them, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to use my attack and stab at the snakes going up the wall.
Sure. Go ahead and make your attack.
That's a good one. I got 3 successes.
Sure, you drop one of the snakes on the wall.
And then for my slow action, I would like to grapple one of the other snakes and grab it in my hand and start choking it out.
Wait, what?
For my slow action, I would like to grapple one of the snakes and start choking it out.
Isn't stabbing with your spear a slow action?
Grapple is a fast action.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
We need
Is
to
it?
make...
Check. Somebody check for me. I just looked at it.
It is. It is.
Okay.
I got the cheat sheet. You're
Okay.
good.
Go ahead. We're going to
It's
do
a melee.
this. Yeah, opposed melee.
Strangle noodle.
I 2'd for the noodle strangle.
It got 1. So you have 1 snake in your hand. So
There's a bug on the wall.
Strangling it!
okay.
Melissa just threw it. Melissa's in. She should be working, but she's in Twitch right now.
Hey, Melissa.
Throwing us some bits too.
That is totally
Yep,
awesome.
yep.
Oh, free reroll. So pocket that when needed. Thanks, Melissa. Wish you could be here. We're trying not to kill your character, but Jeff isn't going along with it. He's made you
Look,
do.
just like there's a bunch of snakes in the ground. It made sense to put somebody on top of them that we can walk over across, and she's just not here. I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems like the obvious thing to do.
Sometimes you need to slake a snake. And in order to slake a snake, sometimes you need to make a sacrifice.
Truth. What was I even looking up? I don't even know. That's the wrong page. So yeah.
I'm choking the blood out of this snake right now.
You're choking the blood. out
Just
of
go
that
full
snake.
Aussie and just the blood.
Oh, yeah. So you got a snake grappled.
The snake Capri Sun.
All right, who's next? It
believe
is
it's me.
Friendin. You're back
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna take and part of that same talent lets me just like keep shooting and reloading, and it's great. So I'm going to, now that I see I can choke a snake with a fast action as well, I'm gonna use my slow to shoot and fast to choke a goddamn snake, Chuck. I want to choke a snake.
Okay. I'm looking
All
up
right.
the grappling rules right here.
All right, I'll shoot in the meantime.
Yep.
I have a success.
Okay, you drop another snake. Snake on the floor or snake on the wall?
I'm gonna go for snake on floor so I can wall snake with the grapple.
Okay.
Wall snake.
Let's look up grappling.
I got it up here.
92, you got it? What is it?
Yeah.
What's
So
yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Grapple is a slow action, but a grapple attack is a fast action. So grapple means like you're actually grabbing something, and then while you have some, and then like basically gives them like like they're actually grappled at that point, and then in the future, while they're grappled, you can start punch them and stuff like.
Okay, yeah. So you've gotten a hold of them during your fast. That makes sense.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So basically, you roll for melee without weapons. It can be dodged or parried. If the attack succeeds, both you and your opponent fall to the ground. I'm not sure if that makes sense here. And then the only action that opponent can take, so the only thing the snake can do is to try to break free, which is a slow action that requires them winning an opposed melee attack against.
Very cool. Thank you.
I'm okay to, if it means I'm going to fall on the ground, I'm okay to retcon,
it doesn't.
especially since it was okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
It doesn't make sense that you grabbed a snake and you would then fall to the ground.
Maybe it's a really, I don't know, heavy or intimidating snake.
So you kill a snake. Cool. I got that flagged.
Okay.
Go ahead. I rolled. So you need to roll an unarmed melee attack. I got one success.
All right, so my human ability allows me anytime I'm rolling any skill to substitute another skill as long as I can make the GM believe it.
Sure.
And so I'm going to say agility as a remote move because I am going to Indiana Jones one of these snakes with a lasso that on my person from my rope to strangle it and grapple it. How do you feel about that?
Sure. Why not?
One success.
Okay. You two both tied. Do you want to push that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So if this is an attack, by the way, like if you're rolling an attack action, like you actually get a +2 from my song. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Roll 2
that's
dice
right.
for free. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me roll 2d6. And it should show me the details, right? Yeah, it's a 6 and a 4. It's a success.
Perfect. Yeah. You.
nicely done.
Thanks, Waits. Wait a minute.
So 5 snakes.
On a plane.
3 snakes are on the wall now. 1 snake is in Jen's hand. 1 snake is in Frendon's hand. And 3 snakes. Actually, what I'm doing math real weird over here. 4.
You know what they say? A snake in hand is worth 2 in the flames.
Anyway, 4 snakes on the wall. 2 snakes being held. 6 snakes on the ground.
4 on a plane, 6 on a train.
partridge in a
Pear tree. Yeah.
Snake tree.
Steely Dan, what are you doing?
Boy, I'm kind of inspired by everybody strangling snakes, but I don't know if I can reasonably use my short bow, which is 2-handed, and also strangle the snake. So
I would say no.
I'm gonna just keep shooting the snakes that are on the wall.
Sure.
Because darn it.
And push that.
Does that include
Yeah,
the +2
don't-
you get for me?
Roll
Dan,
2d6.
Oh, sorry. Let me roll my 2d6 first, and if none of them come up, then I will still push, and then just roll 2 more d6 on top of it.
Wait, why did you roll 2 sets of 2d6?
Because 2d6 for the first roll and 2d6 for the push.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
1 success and 2 failures.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do take. That's a regular attribute. So you take a point of strength damage for your push. But yeah, you get 2 successes out of it. Actually, on your push, you got another one. You take 2 points of strength damage. But yeah, you kill another snake on the wall.
Yeah. 2 points of strength lost for 1 kill, and Jamie locked herself out of the house, so I'll be right back.
Okay. Jeff.
I'm just gonna keep singing. Sky's red and their world's on fire, and the corn is taller than me. That's it.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. The snakes. All right, so 2 of these snakes need to try and break free. Jen, roll your unarmed melee versus this snake's unarmed melee. I got no successes, so, and you maintain. Friendin, same thing.
I'm going to spend another willpower to again make it sleight of hand instead. The idea being I'm being very sneaky with how I'm grappling
Sure.
this thing, very dexterous.
Yeah, I'll tell you that the snake failed, so as long as you get 1 success.
Okay.
Yeah.
1
All
success.
right, snakes are still
That's-
grappled.
What do you think? You're trying to get away with Snake? I've got opposable digits.
Jake, 6 snakes slither up to you and attack.
That's fair.
Snake number 1. Do I have any? Boop, boop. 1 success. Do you got any armor on?
I do.
Okay, you want to roll your armor to see if you.
Yes, here we go. Oop. Oof.
No, Jake. You take a point of damage, and your armor is reduced by 1. This bite is also poisonous,
Oof.
Oh,
with a potency of 4. So I'm going to roll 4d6, and you need to roll. Let's look at that stat again.
depends on what
It's
poison it is.
endurance. It's lethal.
Okay, yeah, that's endurance.
So Jake, roll me an endurance test. You need to beat 1.
How does willpower?
Oh wait, I haven't rolled yet, have
Or
I?
no, not willpower. I just push it. Push it.
Why did I roll as Friendin?
Did you have his token selected, maybe?
You've been, and I've been enjoying just seeing my name over and over
Oh,
again, Chuck.
okay.
It's really stroking my ego.
That's all right. I've got. Okay. Well, it's fine. No one won, no one lost here, so you don't take the poison. Next snake attacks you. I don't want to. Friendin, you're great and all, but why is it doing this? Oh, I
Slowly
wanna-
just take over everyone's token.
There we go.
It's like a being John Malkovich situation.
It is. Jake, that's 1 success. You want to roll your armor, which is now 1d6?
I also have a large shield.
Okay. What does shield do? Does it just add to your... It should just add to your armor rating, so... Roll...
Find it because.
Large shield is a +2 bonus, so roll me 3d6.
Okay.
And you gotta get at least 1.
3d6.
Yeah, you block
yeah, there we
both
go.
points of armor. All right. Snake number 2. Or 3. There's another success. Roll me that 3d6 again, Jake. You block it
Hey,
again.
Here we go.
That was snake number 3. Here's number 4. No successes. Oh, that's way too many dice. That should be 5. No successes. God dang it. I'm trying to give this snake way too many attacks or dice on you, Jake. And there's another success. Roll that 3d6 for your armor.
Oof.
Your armor, and I'll let you choose whether you want this to be your shield or your leather armor.
I'll let my shield take the damage then.
All right. So each one of them is reduced by 1. That's 1 point of damage on you. So you've taken 2 points of damage so far. And we need to roll that virulence test again. And if I'm correct, you just need to roll your endurance. And you need to get at least, no, I need to roll it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you roll the amount of die equal to the potency.
Yep. I didn't get any successes, Jake. So what happens when I don't get any successes? Does it just, the potency just doesn't pop off, or?
Yeah, just the poison just doesn't go in.
Okay.
Well, there's there's a full potency or there's a limited potency.
Well, we're not worrying about this. This is full on potency. Because I'm trying to kill Jake's
Yeah.
character.
And this is a very impotent situation.
Okay, so this is lethal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dan's right. The full versus limited.
Full of ill potence.
You take a point of damage to strength if it's limited effect.
Yeah, that's what I see too.
There is a lot of potential for puns here.
Yes.
Something to really
Yeah.
sink your teeth into.
Okay, so Jake, they don't take you out. Oh wait, I'm not done yet. That was just the 4 on you. The 3 snakes on the wall, they drop down below the fire. I'm just going to go ahead and attack the 2 people making faces. So,
Bring
Friendin,
it, Chuck. I feed on your hate. Arrgh.
I got a success. You got any armor?
I think I have leather. Let me double check what it is. I can block 2 with my armor.
Go
so
roll your armor. Roll 2d6. See if you get
Right.
it. Ooh, no.
4. No, I don't.
Okay, so you take a point of damage from that.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll my potency. Or that. Nope, poison doesn't go into effect.
Good, because I have 1 hit point left in strength.
Jen, snake number 2 attacks you.
Ooh.
That's probably something.
That's a success. You got any armor? Go ahead.
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your armor. Okay, you block it. And then snake number 3, it's going to attack Jen as well. No successes. All right. The snakes have all had their turn. Now it is Jake's turn.
I'm gonna hoof it. Gonna try and make it clear to the other end of the hall.
Sure. Go ahead and just give me a move, seeing as you're leaving out of the snakes. I won't make you take any penalties here.
All right.
Are you going to
I'm
push
gonna
that?
push it.
All right.
Yeah.
You'll take a... There you go. You succeed, but you do take a point of agility damage.
That works.
And you are out of this hall. Jen, what are you going to do? You got 1 snake in your hand and 2 snakes trying to bite you.
So I'm going to do something a little silly. So I'm going to drop my spear, which is that a free action?
Sure, I'll
maybe?
give it to you as a free action just to
Cool.
drop it.
I'm going to try and grapple another snake, and then as fast as I'm going to try and bonk them together.
I love it. We got to do this opposed melee. I got 1 success. You got 1 success. That's a tie. Do you want to push it to see if you can succeed? You're going to need 2 successes here.
It should still be getting the +2, so
Yeah.
roll 2
Oh.
more d6.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll 2d6 first to see if your first one goes through. Yep, so
Thanks, Wade.
you didn't have to do that push.
Good, because nothing came of it anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a snake in each hand. Go ahead and make me another melee.
I'm going to bonk them together.
El Kabonk.
El Kabonk. Yeah, you dash these 2 snakes' heads together, killing
Yes!
2 of them. There's now 1 snake on the ground in front of Jen, a snake in the ground in front of Friendin, a snake in Friendin's hand. God damn. 3 snakes in your area and 6 snakes surrounding, well, where Jake was. Back to the top, Friendin.
I'd like to bite the head off my snake and throw its body into the flames.
Give me a melee test.
I'm going to spend another willpower to make this sleight of hand. Again, I'm being dexterous in my throw. I'm so stylish, Chuck.
So stylish. Like
Yes.
a goddamn magician. Yeah, you bite a snake's head off.
I'm the David Blaine of snake head biting, I say as I toss this thing into the flames.
It's Blavid Dane.
That's correct. That's
Yeah,
correct. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Copyright Defenders of Cobalt.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? That should be your slow action to...
That's my slow. So for my fast, let me think real quick. How many snakes are left at this point?
There is a snake on the ground in front of you and a snake on the ground in front of Jen. And there's 6 snakes in the middle of the room where Osborne was.
I'm going to let me double check my talents real quick. I think fast shooter might let me do something as a fast action.
Okay.
No, it just lets me not have to ready. So I will, for my fast, I will move one range band away because I only have one hit point left and be like, go with God, Urza, because I'm about to die.
Okay, so you're going to move, so I want you to make that move test with a -2 penalty on it.
Oh, I was going to go through the fire. I was going to go further back.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah, don't worry. Give me just a regular move test since you're moving out of combat.
Okay.
Or moving out of a direct melee. Yeah. So yeah, you back up, no problem.
Okay.
All right. Steely Dan.
Since there's some on the ground now, I'll just try and stab one of them.
Sure thing. Give me that attack roll.
I didn't do it.
You want to push?
Since I'm gonna bust my sword up, I'll probably have to pass on this one.
Okay, that's fair. Weights.
So how many people have I heard yelp out in pain from being bitten by these snakes?
Oh, I
Only
forgot
me.
my 2d6. God damn it.
As I ran away.
All right, I'm gonna switch up my tune a little bit, and I'm gonna sing a little something different. I'm gonna say the dog is tied to a wagon of rain, and the road is as wet as the sea, and sometimes the music from a dance will carry across the plains. Do they dream only of me? And so both of you can recover a point of damage and whatever attribute that you want to take it in.
Dan,
Is
roll
it anybody
2d6.
who's been injured or? Okay.
It's how many it's per person that I spend a willpower point on, and since it sounded like there were 3 people, I think that were screaming in pain. So I'll spend 3 so that 3 of you can get it back. So I think it was Osborne.
No benefits from those 2d6. So
Okay.
I'm still not pushing. In fact, I have 2 failures now.
So yeah, Weights, you go through and you healed a point for a handful of your people. Yeah, Bert takes a point of mental anguish from those lyrics.
How dare you? How dare you? Tom Waits is a national treasure.
All right, Jen, a snake attacks you.
Okay.
No successes. Amar, a snake attacks you. No successes. The 6 snakes in the middle of the room turn around and spend their turn slithering back towards all of you behind the fire. Jake, you are out of the combat. Jen.
I'm going to try and step on one of these snakes that's in front of me.
Give me just a basic melee test. Oh, you stomped the shit out of a snake.
Here's a
All
war
right.
style.
It's less of a snake now and more of just a lake. Just kind of a puddle.
And I'd like to use my fast action to pick up my spear.
Sure thing. Absolutely you do. Amar, what do you got going?
I stepped away, so the only thing I could do is ranged, really.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna attempt to shoot. Am I still getting the +2? Is it that like pretty much the entire encounter? I don't remember.
No, it's until my next turn, and since I switched songs to heal.
Since you switched it out, okay, gotcha. Okay, that's why I wanted to ask. All right, I am shooting one of these GD snakes with my F&A arrow.
Sure.
Nice.
3 successes.
All right, so now there's only the 6 snakes on the other side of the fire. Steely Dan.
Part of me just wants to move past this because I feel like Jake's got the right idea of this all, but my move is so horribly bad, so don't think I can make it past them safely.
Only one way to find out.
I'll probably just, since these aren't coming at us, I'll probably just shoot another one.
Okay, yeah.
And I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole bunch of snake skins. Somebody's going to have some cool belts or something, or boots maybe.
You've even got some cooked snake meat, too.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's Waits doing?
I'm getting low on willpower, so I think I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna grab my sword out at this point.
Sure.
I don't think I'll be able to get to any on this turn since I gotta actually take some time to switch those out. But I'll basically just be ready for next round
Cool.
to start swinging.
6 snakes, separating all of you from fire. Hey there, James Core. Thanks for the raid. That's pretty great. I'm sorry, 5 snakes.
5 snakes.
They. God, what are they going to do? They're all going to use their previously unknown ability. Because little did you know, these are leaping snakes, and
I love this.
This combat's dragging on longer than what I like. So there are 1, 2, 3 of you directly around the fire area because Amar has backed up. So let's see. Steely Dan. Snake leaps over the fire and attacks you with no successes. Urza. A snake leaps over the fire and attacks you with no successes. These snakes are terrible. They don't know what they're doing. Waits.
They're trying hard, though.
Leaping snake totally misses. 2 snakes left. Let's roll me. This is just to see who's this snake is attacking. Yep, that's you, Urza. No successes. And then finally, I want to open up. Boop. I want to push that button. I'll push this button. That's going to be Waits. Waits. There's a success.
I do still have. Can I defend because I actually didn't use the second of the 2
absolutely
actions?
you can. Go ahead and make that.
So,
make that test.
is it melee or is it? I'm assuming it's sword.
Yeah, you got your sword out, so this would be your melee. Yeah.
Yeah. But my sword is not rolling for some reason. That's weird. All right, so let me. Sorry, it was just being weird. 1 success.
Nice.
Sure, you defend yourself successfully.
Tell that snake, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
You hear a clink as my sword hits its fang. Clink.
Yeah.
Perfect parry.
Jake, you're still out of combat. Jen, there's now 2 snakes all up in your business, 1 snake in Stealing Dan's business, and 1 snake in Wait's business.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab at one of the snakes all up in my business. Actually, can I stab at one of the snakes in someone else's business?
Sure. Whose snake you stabbing?
Who do I know to be the more frail of the 2 between Waits and Steely Dan?
You may not know.
Probably Steely Dan. I'm a decent fighter. I just
Okay.
choose not to. Yeah.
Then I'll stab the one in front of Steely Dan.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead and make that. Oh, you did make that attack. You kill a snake.
Yay.
2 snakes in front of Waits, 2 snakes in front of Urza. Friendin. What is Amari? You make another ranged attack?
Sometimes it do be like that. Oh, you bet. I'm shooting a snake, my friend. I'm shooting one in front of Waits because
you would know that. You would know I'm good at multiple. We're best friends, like man. We're old friends. You would know I'm pretty good at like attacking a bunch at once.
Well, yeah, there were 2 in front of you and 2 in front of Urza,
Right.
though, right?
Yeah.
Urza has that ability where she can like resurrect herself and do amazing things. So I've seen what Urza can do. It's
Okay.
amazing.
All right.
And so I'm shooting after my meal ticket. I got to chase the gold, man. I see an opportunity for capitalism.
I respect that.
Waits dies. I'm out of luck.
Did it roll?
I'm rolling it now.
Oh,
I'm gonna push it.
okay.
After your
Point
magic
of
trick, we
agility.
should start a Penn and Teller thing.
There you go.
All right, I pushed it.
All right, you take a
Penn
point
and
of
Teller.
agility damage, and you kill another goddamn snake.
Nice.
Steely Dan. There's no snakes all up in your business, but there
I
is
know.
1 in front of Waits and 2 in front of Urza.
I feel like I got to return the favor here, so I'll try and kill one in front of Urza here.
Sure.
And I do.
Cool.
Snavy Sand.
2 snakes remain.
We're almost there, and then we just gotta not die on our own fire.
Waits.
Is it possible? I'm not really sure anymore, but is it possible to position myself to where I can like swing at both of them at the same time?
Yep.
Okay, because I'll take advantage of my what's it called, sword fighter talent,
Okay.
and so I can attack both, just separate rolls. So
Okay.
here's
Nice.
one. I'll push.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No. And then I will attack the other. That's
And
fine. I
that
need to get-
damages your sword, correct?
Yeah, it should.
And Jen, that also... No, Dan. You didn't push, Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So, yeah, one snake's still up.
Yeah, I'm just going in and editing that bonus really quick. And then the second one, I'll do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So I got one of them.
There is now just one snake remaining. And that is now that snake's turn. The snake is going to attack. Waits.
He was offended by your attacks.
Ooh,
Oh my.
one success. Is there anything you can do? Jeff?
I don't actually think I can because I got to maneuver myself with my fast action and
Yeah.
then a swing with my attack. So
Are
I
you
think
wearing
you're probably
armor?
good. Yeah, I do actually have armor.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got. I've got leather armor. So that's 2 dice, I think. Yeah, one of them's good. It's a
Okay,
6.
cool.
Nice.
Jen, what is Urza going to do?
Kill.
I murdered it. I stabbed it.
All right.
I was waiting.
The snakes are all dead. The fire goes out. You all move across the hall.
I want to collect snake leather.
You collect. What is that? It's going to be 18 snake skins.
The not burnt ones.
Yeah. But those 4 burnt snakes, you can add those as food.
Yeah, if anybody needs food rations, mine are full, so somebody else can take it.
Also full on food, D12 here, so anybody else?
I'll
I can
grab
take
one.
it. Yeah, I'll grab
Okay.
another one.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
carrying as many snacks as I can already.
Perfect.
Got pockets full of fruit leather.
We did it.
We did
We
it
did
the,
it.
the painful way, probably, truth be told. We probably should have just run through the room.
Yeah, which one of these snakes has that ruby we need, right? This is the final boss, right?
Yeah. So you all move further into this dungeon. You come across a very small room.
Now our poem's so far away.
The small room is also full of 22 snakes.
It is not.
Oh.
It's 23 snakes.
There's the Why did I do that? It's got the descriptions wrong. There's the statues of the gods in this room as well, but the walls are covered in like paintings and reliefs and carvings of like a natural natural scene. You can see there's grasslands, flowers, there's a tree, all kind of painted and carved into the walls here.
So I scrolled up a little ways. The fortress is entered through the yield of the tree, so maybe where the tree's painted, there's like a secret door or something, perhaps.
Sure, you want to go check out the tree?
Yeah.
You can see it looks like an apple tree. It's just got one lonely apple hanging on it.
Maybe
What is that?
maybe the apple's like a switch or something.
Are you going to do anything? Are you going to push the apple or something?
Sure. Yeah. Yield of the tree would be like the fruit of the tree. Seems reasonable.
You push the apple, and a door opens up on the side wall.
I did it. Everybody can just kill me now. I've probably exhausted my usefulness.
It goes from being the environment kind of as you move past this changes some. You enter into a hallway that eventually there's a door, a wooden door in it. You push the door open, and you realize that on the other side of the door, it's actually a bookshelf. You're entering in through a hidden door behind a bookshelf.
Ooh.
And you're in a small, dusty room. Books lining the walls. There's a door that leaves this room. And in the center of this room is a pedestal with a very large tome setting on it.
I wasn't expecting books.
Yeah, I didn't come here to read.
Can I read that book, though? I'm interested in books.
Sure, let me...
I'm still technically an elf, and this is an elven fortress.
Elves and shelves go well together, I hear.
Indeed. I like to be on those shelves. Right at the top. I wait for people to find me.
You actually check this book out, and it's a magical book. An artifact, you might call it, called the Book of Knowledge.
Oh.
I'll just lay it out to bear. This book, when you have it, gives you a +2 and a artifact die, a D12 artifact die, or a D8 artifact die, to all lore rolls.
Oh, that's right up my alley. Would anybody be offended if I just...
If you want to take it, it's in artifacts. So if you go into the items, gear, artifacts, the Book of Knowledge is there. You can go and just drag that into your character sheet.
I do want to take it.
Let me end combat. You all have navigated the secret passage. You now find yourselves in the library of the Eye of the Rose. On the map, it is the kind of the drum tower in the very center. And you move around. You can actually hear a little bit of shuffling here and there. But it's pretty quiet in this library. Old scrolls and books line the walls. I wonder if they've actually got words they want me to read for this. Words and stuff. What is this shit? Yeah. But yeah, you look around, it's actually looks like it was burnt at some point, so the walls are blackened, and then it's actually got a very crude ceiling built above it.
Real quickly, I'd like to look and see if there's anything that looks obviously valuable in here to pocket.
You find old texts, old books. If you find the right seller, you could probably pawn these off.
I take enough to not burden myself,
Okay.
A few.
Take 3 or 4 books, stuff them in your pack, yeah.
Okay.
And if you find the right seller, ancient elven tomes of knowledge. Yeah. As you're all kind of lost and looking around, you hear a voice call out behind you. It sounds like an old man. What are you all doing in here? I didn't know. Hororka doesn't like anyone in his library. You shouldn't be here. And you turn around, and you see an old human man in kind of a rough spun, ratty robe, with a ball and chain attached to one of his ankles.
And what was the name he said we shouldn't be here?
Hororka.
Horka? Okay.
Hroka.
Horka, okay.
Hello there, young man. It's a pleasure to meet. We were just looking to peruse the fine collection. Here's no reason to get upset. It's I'm like looking over to Amar.
Yeah, no need to get Horka'd off. We have permission.
4, 3. I lost count.
Perusing these down.
I'm done already. You
I know.
You can't count my
missed
sneezes.
it.
I'm done.
I missed it. How disappointing. He actually looks at you there, Waits. You shouldn't be here either. It's not safe for you.
Is it safe for you, my dear man?
And he kind of moves his ankle up. Obviously not. It is not safe. If they find a dwarf here, they will put you in the prison with the rest. And
I mean, there's dwarves that are in prison. Some are here.
yes, in the jail. And he's like, it's the building to the south of here. If you go in through the main hall, you can access the prison there. There's elves, there's dwarves, there's humans.
We have a certain attitude about people being imprisoned here, and I'm going to get down and try to sleight of hand pick his lock with my worm key, which it lets me add an artifact die to pick the lock.
Sure thing.
And let me double check that because I haven't used it before. D12, I added D12 to my sleight of hand rolls as an artifact die.
Yep.
Did he give us his name or just
He hasn't.
Hiroka?
He hasn't given you his name yet.
So while that's happening, I'll be doing introductions. Like, just let him. He's helping you out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So Amar, you get it free. You can see that the skin underneath is raw, and it's when you've got it's constricted some, like it's a little too tight. And
sure,
maybe
like he's been wearing it longer than a person should that has maybe grown into the thing a bit. Kinda.
Yeah.
So I take some serious issue with orcs enslaving people. And so now I sort of look at weights and I'm like, so are we doing a jailbreak?
I think so. Gotta be careful about it, but yeah, I think that seems like.
How did you all get in here? Did you come in through the front, through the market?
We were like sneaky snakes coming on in here.
Can
We
you-
found our own way in?
Can you get me out? I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I am the personal librarian and lore master for Hororka. Just get me out of here, please. I've been trapped here
We're
for
gonna-
years.
We're going to
Do you
shove him
help
through the
us?
door. We're going to shove him through the door after we get the info we need from him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We have a safe passage that we came through. We can tell you how to navigate it to get to the park, and from there, if you wait for us, we might be able to rendezvous with you. Or if that's shifty and you need to get out, you might have to take a chance and get out on your own from there. But we can at least get you out of the keep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Dan, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just saying, well, let's see if we can get some information or assistance from him first before we send him out.
Yeah, but yeah, he'll take you up. He's like, yeah, I'll leave if you guys are coming back out. If there's a safe place for me to wait in there, because I don't think I'm strong enough to flee from the orcs in the city below.
Just
Do you
wait.
think there's a safe enough passage for us to get prisoners from the jail up through the passageway and into this room, or do you think it would be too heavily watched?
There's guards. So he would point out, if you all kind of look at the map on the screen, you're here in the library. He would give you a description that's close enough. If you come down and go through the main hall, down a little further south, and then from the main hall you can access the prison, which is over here. The prison is also the school. He would explain. He was like, maybe at night during mealtime, enough of the orcs will be feasting that you could get into the jail. If you're looking at getting people out, there are guards in the jail. And he kind of gives you the rundown of exactly what the orcs are doing here. Hororka is trying to better the station of the orcs here. And one way that they're doing that is him and his queen. They lure, craftsmen, scholars, worthy, people who could teach the orcs something. And they lure them here. And if those people are willing to, it's like, hey, come check this out real quick. And if the people are willing to stay on permanently, they can stay as honored guests. And if they don't want to stay, they're just captured and kept
Put
as
in prison.
prisoners. Yeah. And just used for their knowledge that way.
Doesn't seem like much of a choice, really.
It's
Trapped either way.
yeah. It's you can have the nice prison or you can have the shitty prison.
Yeah, you stay willingly or
Right.
unwillingly. So maybe he can tell us about where this ruby might be that we need to find.
Yeah, red ruby in the shape of stars.
Perhaps we can do the ruby swap, and then if that goes well, then do the prisoners. Because if we don't do the prisoners, then Well, if we don't do the ruby and the elves come here, then the prisoners will probably be taken care of tomorrow, anyways.
So
I'd
real-
like to ask real quickly, if it's okay, before we go further, too. What is the condition of the prisoners? Are they going to be able to fight for themselves if we get them out and help their own escape? Do we have to sit on them and baby them out? Like, what is the general health of the prisoners?
for that, he could give an answer. Like, they don't treat us horrible.
Okay.
Like, we're fed. They don't beat us unless we're, try to escape or,
Okay.
But, so they keep everyone healthy enough that they can do the tasks they need to do.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't get in there, try to rescue people, and there's a bunch of people with broken legs, and it's like, oh,
no.
No.
People who are injured beyond their usefulness are usually just put to death. So, Jake, you asked him about the ruby. Yes, that sounds like the... Let me get the actual name of this. Give me just a moment. Nope, that's the wrong tab. That sounds like the Bloodstar Cloak, the clasp on the Bloodstar Cloak. The Empress is wearing that. The Emperor gave it to his wife, his queen, Empress Soria. She wears it.
Does she ever take it off?
I'm sure. I don't imagine she would sleep with it. Whenever she's having court, she's always got it on. And he would point out that they live in the castle. I'm pinging it on the map. Yeah, you all should be able to see that. Let me show.
We're kind of in between two places.
And to get there, he would explain down in this area. Let me make sure I'm describing this map correctly. So the area where you see the fire, that's actually the guard station where all the guards of the castle kind of mill about. And then in this large court here, that's actually the audience chamber. It's got like a raised stage a little bit that you see up here. And when the emperor holds court, they're up there and they talk to any, people, petitioning the emperor down below.
Does he know any ways into the
castle?
Yeah, without going through all of the places where people are?
He doesn't. Not to say that there isn't, but he doesn't know any. Like when he's taken places, he's led there.
Okay.
Chuck, can I ask a broader question?
Yeah.
The druid or such that we met in the forest was saying that give me the red ruby to was it like to prevent an attack on this place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we care about whether or not anyone attacks this place at this
That
point?
is entirely up to you. Like, the druid was very much, I don't want the orcs to get killed. They're trying to better themselves. And there's a lot of guilt among the elves towards the orcs. You would know this as a dwarf as well, because the orcs were initially made by the gods. I think it's clay. Or the raven, I don't remember. But the orcs were made by the gods and given to the elves and the dwarves as servants, as kind of an olive branch for the elves and the dwarves, losing all of the continent. Because that's when the great kind of wall along the south was made, the mountain range, and the northern was the Ravenlands where the elves and the dwarves lived. In the south was the Alderlands where the humans lived. Mm-hmm. And so in that, the elves were also given orcs. I'm there with you. But yeah, the elves were given the orcs and the dwarves were given the orcs to act as, servants and, brute labor. So it's, yeah.
Well, Clay, I'm not giving this place raven reviews. I say we flow on over to the prisoners, get them the fuck out, and let the orcs get attacked. These are not good people, and we are not arbiters of what is good and bad conflict here. We should just do the moral thing.
I mean, yeah.
They're not good people. They're enslaving craftspeople and scientists and thinkers.
A solid point of logic there. I can't...
Sure. But I
I
don't.
mean, it's crossed my
Environment's
mind
different
too.
kind.
Yeah,
How's everybody else feel? I'm not dictating. I'm just asking.
I can be convinced either way.
Is there any possibility that we could? And I know we. Is there any way that we can get in contact with that elf if we were to leave and maybe tell them like, hey, timeline's moved up. If you want to do this at night, we'll come with you and assist you at night in the fight to retrieve this gem. But we've gotten the prisoners out, and there's likely a high state of alert happening because we're gonna, if we take the prisoners, they're gonna be on high alert that something's going wrong.
I'll give it to you. Yeah. If you work on getting the prisoner, like morning is your deadline, and we'll say it's late morning at this point. You're all making really good time. Morning is your deadline. So, and it only took you maybe an hour or so to get through the passage coming up here.
You say that, Urza, and immediately that makes me think, well, he's trying to prevent an attack. If we make this place on such high alert that an attack is suicide, that would prevent it too. It's not exactly what they asked for, but if his motivations were pure and the ruby only being used as a catalyst for preventing attack, us really fucking this up royally and getting the prisoners out here might be just the sort of thing that prevents an attack too, if they know to be waiting.
But then we have the red runners on our
I
back.
don't think so. The Red Runners, if my understanding is right, are unceasing in their desire to get this ruby. Is that correct?
That would be a correct assumption, yes.
Like they would attack no matter what.
So we got on one side slavers, and the other side genocidal maniacs. We get the prisoners out, then whoever wins, wins.
I want to ask. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
He hasn't given you his
human.
name, but I'll tell you. His
What's
name
your
is,
name, human?
his name, he goes by Master Anselm. And
Anselm.
he'll actually kind of admit some of his backstory to you. He was a scribe, and the orcs invited him here to. Initially, he thought he was just going to be, taking dictates, just putting pen to paper some of the information the orcs wanted to write down. Really what they did is they brought him here like, you know how to read. Here's this library full of ancient elven text. We need you to read it all and tell us what it says. Problem is he doesn't know how to read any of it. So he'll gladly tell you, it's like, I've been here for years and I just make it up.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
He's just like,
I love this guy.
I've been lying through my teeth and the orcs just eat it up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How much does the king and queen trust you?
Decently so. I mean, they're, as friendly as they can be towards one of their slaves.
Is there any way that you could maybe try and convince them that you came across a tome that speaks of a ruby or a gem that would bring great trouble and turmoil to their people if they were to keep it? Maybe convince her to get rid of it on her own.
I can try. I mean, it's dangerous. I just want to get out of here. Like, I just
We
want to
will
go
get you
home.
out
I've
of
got a
here.
family that I haven't seen in years.
And also, follow-up question to that: how much will the orcs be looking for you? Like, essentially, how much time do we have before they start realizing that you're nowhere to be found?
They bring me here in the morning. They bring me my meals here. So we've got maybe an hour or so until they drop lunch off, but they don't come looking for me. They just leave it on the table.
How many folks come and drop off lunch for you?
Just a couple of guards. It's usually just one at a time. And they won't actually come and get me to take me back to my chambers in the castle until tonight.
I think we might have some disguises coming our way.
If we wanted to. It also buys us more time.
Now, Jen, you are an orc.
I know I am.
Use that to your
I was hoping to get some, a guard uniform, and
Okay.
maybe I can go in and potentially take care of the queen myself. I know it would be very, very dangerous, but they might give me free reign to go in and out.
I'm maybe the least threatening among us. You could say I'm a prisoner, and then you'd at least not be empty-handed.
Yeah, but I don't know why I'd be bringing a prisoner to the king and queen's quarters.
We do walk past the guard station on the way to the auditorium, don't we?
Yeah.
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 It's the little place with the campfire.
I don't know that
The
would
guard.
be wise in this situation.
If that's what you want to do, they value wisdom. Say this man is a wizard.
Is there any, and I ask Anselm, I say, is there any person that they might want to see that would be very revered, the king and queen would want to see, like in terms of a capture?
I can lie and Sam anyone, yes.
They want now they're open to merchants. If you can pull off as a merchant who's got something worth trading, they'd gladly take audience with you.
Oh, I have a bag full of anything, my friend.
Listen, merchants can come and go. They come and go freely. I mean, like there's human and halfling and goblin and the occasional dwarven merchant that's out in
like walking around.
Yeah, not here in the main castle, but down in the lower courtyard. It's kind of hard to see for the stream, but down in the lower courtyard, yeah, that's just an open market where the orcs try to establish trade with other, settlements, villages, whatnot. Are you muted, Friendon?
I was. I think a few of us might be able to convincingly pull off the fact that we are part of a traveling caravan of salespersons. So potentially Waits, you and I, maybe everyone except our guards, the goblin, Osborne. Sorry, Osborne, forgot your name. We could end with you in the guard outfit. That's a lot of the party that could make their way almost all the way to the castle.
He would give a final, not a final, but a warning to Waits.
Waits is a dwarf.
Waits, they don't necessarily have anything against. They're not fond of dwarves and elves, but they're more willing to work with a dwarf than they are an elf.
Okay.
But I can tell by that instrument on your back, you're a musician. And if a good musician happens upon your court, don't plan on leaving.
I'm a great musician, so I suppose they're going to want me to stay here forever.
I would be very afraid that you would be a prime prisoner.
My friend.
What if like you went and got yourself willingly captured and put in the school, and we could come later and you'd be there?
True. Well, the problem is that I wouldn't have any of my. I doubt they
wouldn't
let
be able
me
to
keep
do
my
anything.
Equipment or anything.
I think Waits is our Bates. I think we don't want him captured, but you being a prize might be something that allows us to get close.
I would think if we wanted to like stormtrooper this and walk a prisoner into the prison, that we would use Waits for that situation.
It could be. And Master, I forget his name, Master Anselm or whatever it was. He would very much put out there like, listen, if you guys want to get in disguise as orcs, you could probably just walk Waits right up to the Emperor and the Empress and say, hey, this musician is here to...
Let's do that.
But he's like, I got to tell you, if you're good, they're not going to let you leave.
Listen, while it's possible I could pretend to be bad, my sense of dignity would not allow me to. I am exceptional, and I refuse to be anything less. I was thinking, though, if that would work, getting up to the queen and such, it certainly probably would work taking me, like, to cell block such and such, and at the very least, that gets us to the prisoners, right?
And again, I agree, and a lot of this depends on if we're even bothering to try to prevent this war between the elves and the orcs at this keep, or are we just trying to get the innocents out?
Yeah, we got to
That's
think
kind of the
about
crux of that.
Our priorities here, right? I think priority one is helping out these folks who've been, not saying that priority two, Ruby, isn't also something we want to accomplish, but I'm open.
If our group doesn't care whether we save this town or not, then I say we just go straight and save the folks, because we've got a more clear path from the dungeon into this area at around dinner time.
Go ahead.
I'm not opposed to trying to prevent the conflict, personally speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm much more motivated by helping out the prisoners, though. So if I could only do one safely, that's what Amar would pick, I think.
Okay. Once you all have a plan, I just need you to tell me what the plan is so we can start.
I'm
enacting
fine
it.
doing one and then the other.
Right. Is there any possibility of us like getting into the prison? And I'm asking this of Master on film here. Is there any possibility of us, and understand that we are exceptional at what we do, of us getting towards the prison and freeing the slaves in sort of a surreptitious way, getting and funneling those folks back here, getting rid of y'all? Without are there patrols that are going to be coming and going that we're going to have to be dodging and tiptoeing behind, or is it just like
there's always patrols? If you wait till after dinner, they're usually drunk.
Sure.
He did. I don't know if I mentioned this. This might put a little hiccup in your plan. The guards are here, right? That's where the guards hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Audience. Mm-hmm. This building here is the main audience dining hall almost. And you got to get through it. You got to walk through it to get to the prison entrance.
Oh, so there's no other way to get to that prison?
No, they've got that all closed up.
Again, I think we can get in there, right?
I mean,
because this is where we do the whole pretend I'm going in there.
You put on a show, and perhaps while you're distracting people, we try and funnel the prisoners through?
Well, if you he would say, if you wait until after dinner, like an hour or so after dinner, the guards will either be slacking off or they're drunk.
Okay.
So your chances of encountering a guard around then go way down. Hey,
Danny boy, you got any of that poison left over?
I do, yeah.
Could we maybe try to poison some of that brew? Maybe they're not just drunk, but they're even worse.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily have to do. I got a variety of poison, so we could do something that'll put you to sleep instead, or paralysis.
Yeah, but me to talk to you about your obsession with poison. We'll talk about that later. That's fine. Okay.
He would say if you're wanting to poison a lot of them, your Urza. He's like, if you get a guard outfit, you could probably just walk right into the kitchen, because I mean, pretty much the orcs can eat whenever they want. Just the big meals in the evening.
I have a suggestion for a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Take it or leave it. Waits is coming in. He's going to be a wonderful bard. Maybe one that, Amar talks up, and maybe Amar is the person who found him to bring him to us. And I am just an escort. And essentially it's he is willing to show his ability at the auditorium, maybe later in the evening. And that allows Amar to be close to the king and queen, potentially maybe doing some sleight of hand to steal the gem, and maybe a little bit of chaos that's involved. Maybe it's something that everybody needs to go to. Maybe that happens after dinner, at which point everyone's watching or interested or drunk, at which point the rest of us start funneling everybody out. We create a commotion, Amar steals the gem, and we get the fuck out.
I'd still like to sprinkle the poison into that plan.
It's your guys' plan to come up with. That is another layer of complexity, because then someone would need to get into the kitchen and poison whatever's getting served.
And also, if somebody gets poisoned, that might actually raise the alert sooner rather than later.
And there's some that'll just make you sleepy. So people get sleepy when they're drunk. Or I do. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, as long non-lethal poison is probably a good idea if we're doing something like that. Because my first thought was I don't know the makeup of this crowd. Are we poisoning orcish children? This is a little rough. This isn't much better than preventing conflict from stealing a ruby, right?
I don't want to put.
It's not a conflict we're preventing. It's a genocide.
It's a genocide.
That's what we're deciding here. We're deciding whether we want to save the slaves and let genocide happen, or take the gem and the slaves live comfortably as slaves.
I would actually take, because of my dark secret, I would actually take issue to either of those things going through. So I don't want the slaves to stay. I also don't want a group of people to be murdered and slaughtered. Just because I witnessed that before. I don't like it. So I'm going to try and figure out the path that allows most people to survive.
Yeah. You say that, Urza, and the first thing I think of is maybe both plans need to happen at once. You dress up as a guard. You get close to the prisoners. I travel freely as a merchant. I say I have the best singer in the land. Get in front of the king and queen. The other two create the diversion somewhere that may provide a distraction for both sets of us to get both things
You
done.
want
We
to
might need to.
I could light something on fire. Something big.
If we want the cover of most of the guards being drunk, we're gonna have to wait. Like we're gonna have to wait until nighttime because they're not gonna start drinking until nighttime. Anyway, that was the idea. The auditorium, the getting everybody in one place, away from the patrols, away from everything else. That makes it much easier for us. We can take it or leave it. I don't mind.
I like it. I just wanted to make sure you got your prisoners out too.
Okay.
That happens. That happens while he's performing. While he's performing, I head over. I don't stick around. I head over
Okay.
and start funning people out.
That's okay. So we basically came. I was just suggesting essentially exactly that. I didn't realize your plan had that too.
Let me walk through this to make sure I'm understanding all the points of it. You guys are going to get an orc guard here. You're going to wait till lunch. The orcs come to drop off lunch. You're going to waylay the orc, steal the guard uniform. After dinner, when everyone's good and drunk, Waits and Amar are going to go try and get an audience with the Emperor. So Waits can perform, and during the performance, Amar is going to try and steal the ruby.
A little switcheroo.
Yeah. Urza, your job is to get in there and try and free prisoners, and you're going to be taking Osborne and Steely Dan with you.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to wait till after dinner. You're going to sneak in there, and you're just going to try and subterfuge, stealth, get prisoners out, and get them back to the library, right?
And probably what I'll do is like the fast thing in between is I'll get the orc guard uniform.
Yeah.
And then I will essentially like become the guard that brings the dinner meal to the guy, to Anselm.
Okay.
And then at that point I will funnel him out so he can just leave. And then I will head over and start scouting out the prison so that I can figure out like how we get folks out and make it as quick as possible.
Okay. Is the poison idea knocking him out? That's not happening. Am I correct on that?
Sounds like that's a no.
Okay.
No, nobody seems to be interested in that. So.
Okay.
I'm not interested. We just didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was not interested in poisoning people, but I'm interested in sleepy people.
That's same here. Yeah.
Poison. It's still poison.
So you're saying you're interested in drugging the meal to try and knock as many orcs out as you can.
Maybe when you go get the meal for Ansem, that's when you put sleeping poison in. We've got an excuse to be in the kitchen already.
Is that the plan?
I'm not particularly great at sleight of hand.
I'm not either, but you can take
I ask Anselm if it's normal for... Well, I'm sorry, what race are you, Dan?
He's elf.
I'm an elf, but I can disguise myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would disguise yourself as an orc and then you can go in because you might likely be better at administering this than I am.
That's true, Dan. You do have the training in poison and whatnot. So.
And there will be 2 guard uniforms to work with.
Okay. So
I think this covers most of what we want to do. Osborne is distraction. Urza's going after the prisoners. Waits and I are going after the amulet. Dan is disguising himself and stealing his way into the kitchen to poison / put people to sleep.
The prisoner escape and the getting of the ruby, that's all happening after dinner.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so lunchtime rolls around. The 2 orc guards come in, and we'll just move through this a little quicker. We don't need to get into the details.
Attack.
You two, you jump them, you knock them out. Maybe, you tie them up or something like that. And you now have 2 orc uniforms. Steely Dan, you take a few minutes to disguise yourself as an orc.
Mm-hmm.
And now Urza and Steely Dan have orcish guard uniforms. What are you two? Are you two waiting here? Or are you going to go start scouting?
I figure we can try to act natural.
I'm going to go out and start scouting the prison, and maybe Dan goes to Actually, I don't know. Steely Dan, wherever you'd like to go, I'm going to go check out the prison and take a look.
2 of us coming in, it should probably 2 of us going out at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Till we're comfortable that we're not going to get owned.
So the question is, are you two sticking together? Or are you splitting up?
Initially, I think sticking
Okay.
together.
So you go out, you take a handful of minutes to get dressed, you head to the main hall. You can see there's, orcs here and there shooting the shit. There's not a lot of, I don't want to say structure, but not a lot of, I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's such an easy word, it's missing. But yeah, there's not a lot of discipline. That's it. Not a lot of discipline here among the orc and guard force. They're kind of, milling around, not taking their duties too seriously. You move on past the main hall, and you can see that in the back of the main hall, there is a large locked door with an orc sitting in a chair, maybe chewing on a hunk of turkey leg or some shit. And as you approach it, he's like, "Oh, yeah. Going in, getting prisoners? What are you doing?"
I just sort of gruffly say, going in to check and see if we have any bards in there.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple of them, string fiddlers in there, yeah. Yeah, you might check over in the eastern block. Yeah, I think they're hiding over there.
I'll go take a look.
So yeah, he's like, "Well, it's not locked." So, and you actually see moving up to it the chains that hold the door. The padlock's on, but it's not clasped. So yeah, you just take it down and in you go. So the two of you are in, and it's not like a traditional prison. It's just they took a wing of the castle and kind of just put up doors and bars and shit, like really kind of crude almost. And once you're in there, you get into like the main school, and you can actually see there's probably 5 or 6, craftsmen, and they're teaching a class of young orcs. There's people going over letters, maybe a musician going over like musical stuff. There's some tradesmen. You see someone explaining like blacksmithing. They got a crude forge set up. And it's really the orcs are just taking people to improve the capability of the orcish people in here. So, no one seems to be, being beaten or being harmed here. But you can see moving into the back, you kind of pass through this school area. Like I said, there's 5 people here, a couple humans, a couple orcs, maybe an elf. I meant dwarfs.
Does it seem like, as I'm looking through here, does it seem like there's a lot of like orc patrol presence back here, or does it seem mostly like it's running on its own?
There's a guard sitting in the back corner of like the classroom area, napping, sitting in a chair to sleep.
One of the things I might do is I might grab a couple grogs of flasks or whatever to like take back to them that has some of that sleeping poison in it. So that maybe later to like knock them out a little bit.
Okay. All right. So yeah, while you were passing through the main hall, you could grab a couple, dirty steins that are sitting out or something like that. Maybe you're half drunk. So if you want to be walking around with it wouldn't be uncommon. Like some people walk around the office with a coffee cup. So it wouldn't be totally
cool.
Open liquor license here.
Yeah. You can set up their afternoon naps for them right now.
But yeah, so you move through the back, and there's another door, and this is where it was servants' quarters, and they just keep the people here locked up in their small rooms. So yeah, and like I said, it's not a prison like in the traditional sense. It's just they took servants' quarters, and it's under lock and key. So these people are just locked in their rooms, and you can see there's 3 more locked doors here, and there's a handful of open doors in the back that look like they don't have residents. Altogether, I would say they've got 10 prisoners in here. And one thing you do notice is that each of these prisoners, these slaves, has the ball and chain attached to their ankles.
Keeps them from moving, more or less.
Yeah, just keeps them slow.
Yeah.
So you kind of get a scout. You can see once you move into the like the actual quarter areas, there's a chair setting up in the back where like an orc guard would stay, but it's currently unoccupied. So
Do I see any spots where there might be keys to these chains, these locks and chains? Because I imagine the guards themselves that station there might have them, but I don't know if they keep them off their person or on their person.
Setting on the wall on a hook by the chair in the back of this kind of servant quarter hallway, there's a ring of keys.
I'll make note of that. I'm not going to take them now, but I'll make note of it.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're within reach of even the people chained up.
Well, these are solid doors. It's not a prison. There's not bars. These are like servant quarter rooms. So they get escorted, put in their room, and the door's locked behind them.
Okay.
So yeah, you do your scouting. You get the information you need. It's a very crude prison. And like I said, mainly they're using these people to, provide some craft services, but the orcs' big push is to use these people to educate their own orcs to provide these services themselves. They're, trying to become self-sufficient in a really terrible way.
Okay. All right. So, that's mostly the scouting that I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's good for me. Maybe we
I
come
feel
back
like-
here with some more poisoned ale later on, and we can just knock the guards out.
Yeah.
On our way through.
Okay. You do your scouting. Anything else you want to do in the meantime, or should we just jump to dinner?
I would kind of like to talk to Amara about maybe borrowing the key.
The key that unlocks everything?
Yeah.
Just in case we...
It does. It just gives you a bonus on lock picking.
Yeah, which I have lock picks and stuff like that, but I'm not great at it otherwise.
Okay.
So just if we run into something that needs a little more persuasion.
I tell you what, how about this? Since you're poisoning and then are going to be a floater, if you can, do you think it would make sense for him to make his way back to the other party, the not Waits and I, to help in case there's any prisoner chains that need to be unlocked? I know you saw the keys, but it might make sense for y'all to have it more than me at this point anyway. So if he's going to be the one that runs it
back.
back.
What I'm getting at is if I borrow the key from you.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll slip you the key before all this starts then.
Okay.
We'll Bill and Ted that in there. It's in the bushes for you.
Okay.
We mostly need to make sure that I get the food to take back to Enselm so that there isn't somebody who shows up who
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who finds
when we
him.
get the food, that's when we'll try and hit the rest of it.
Okay. So yeah, you got the key. You wait until, dinner starts getting ready to spin up. You make your way to the kitchen. They're like, you're not the regular ones who take the food to that librarian. What happened to
Bastards.
Ralph and Quimby?
Ralph and Quimby, Mondays, am I right? Just like taken from Jet.
Mondays are the worst.
Also, on that note, I'm going to need some extra grog.
Yeah, well, you don't need to ask. The fucking tankard's over there. Just,
Oh, yeah, all right.
Our Monday also.
yeah. And it's just this giant fucking barrel with a ladder going up to the side that you just climb up to the top and just dip your mugs into.
Oh, perfect. That's a great time to put a whole bunch of poison in it.
Okay. You load up. I'm going to say you dump all of your sleeping poison in this. Because if you want to successfully knock out a giant chamber full of orcs, you're going to need to go heavy-handed.
Yep, I'm willing to... I'll probably have to have some help spending the silver to replenish this later because I'm spent, but...
Okay.
I am, as the merchant, a silver repository. If anybody ever needs it, just ask. I usually have some because of what Waits and I do. More than happy.
Yep.
Okay.
I will consider my sleeping poison expended.
Okay, cool. So Jake, once this all starts going down, you're going to help do the prison break, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Waits and Amar, you're going to wait till after dinner and then try to go get an audience with the king or the emperor and the empress. Okay, cool. We're going to say dinner rolls around, festivities in the main hall really kick up. There's a shitload of orcs in there. There's some humans in there. There's some halflings, some goblins, maybe a couple wolfkin. Just, I'm waiting for it, Friendon. Okay.
I didn't give it to you, Chuck. You can't count this, motherfucker.
My gosh. Denial. All right. So, yeah. dinner happens, and people just start falling asleep in their food.
One more thing.
Yeah.
As I bring back the food for dinner, that's whenever we give the high sign that everybody does it, and we also let Enselm out. Like, I want Enselm to go and wait for us so that he gets that guaranteed he's out type.
Okay. You show him.
Thing.
He takes his leave through it. He's like, I'll make my way through here and then wait for you before I leave whatever this is so you can help me get out of the town.
And warn him too, because like there were traps and said like you might not want to go by yourself.
Likely you guys have kind of disabled all the traps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You might want to warn him that the first long hallway, he might not want to have any light on him.
I thought we fought all 22 snakes.
You fought
kidding.
all the snakes that came out that time. Yeah. Who knows if there's more?
That was the morning crew. This is the evening crew.
Yeah.
I really like the idea that there are generations of snake keepers behind that wall whose sole job has been to wait to look for a torch and be like, open the tanks. It's been 230 years. There's been 3 generations of us.
Get them, guys.
I've been training for this shit my whole life.
And then we're just over there like smashing snakes together like cymbals and being assholes. And they're just like, my life's work. Not Rudy, my favorite python.
We should have trained him better.
Bitches.
We're going to, once this plan gets into gear, I want to follow Waits and Amar.
They're probably the more interesting ones, to be honest.
And then, we're just, because I'm going to say, like, you guys have taken a lot of steps to make sure you can get these prisoners out. All of the orcs are going to get drunk. They're going to fall asleep. Some of them are going to panic. If all of their friends start passing out around them, it's going to be real funny at first. And then it's going to be real scary.
This drunk motherfucker.
So Waits and Amar, you get a good enough description on how to make it to the Emperor's, chamber. You make your way past the guards to the main hall, into the main gate of the castle. There's an orc guard napping next to the door, leaning up against a spear, kind of just dozed off. Are you going to do anything here? You're just going to try and move past quietly.
What if we were to shove a knife into his neck, does it look like anybody around would notice?
I'll tell you what, you look around, you do see some people here and there, but they're not really paying attention. They're kind of a ways off. This is not where the action's happening at this time of night.
Then, do you think we just walk past Waits? I mean, we could kill him. He's sleeping like a baby, but what?
Going to these lengths not to kill him, so I suppose to be consistent with our morals, we should probably just...
As a capitalist, I'm worried more about profit, but sure, I get it. I get it.
He might have something on him, so...
Yeah, that's the thing.
See, the thing is, Amar's a cutthroat businessman, so you can't trust him in that situation.
All right, go and cut.
I'm slashing prices right now. No, okay. So, yeah, you're right. I don't think we want to do anything to one lonely god. We've got bigger fish.
He's probably just trying to put his kids through college, let's be honest.
Yeah. That's it.
That's
so
definitely it.
You all move past him. And you're making your way kind of through this castle. The librarian gave you good enough instructions to make your way through it. But as you're kind of moving through, you're moving down this hallway and coming across a opposing hall. This human kind of walks out, kind of tall, dressed in very fine clothing, but it's very very brightly, very oddly colored, abnormally, ridiculously, like ornate and fancy. Very much looks like if someone said, this is what a noble dresses like, who had never seen a noble before. That's what this person looks like. He looks skeezy as all fuck. Like, this is a shady looking dude. And he stops, he looks at you. What are you all doing in here? This is odd. You should not be in here. The main feast is in the hallway.
Oh, I was told that that Horka and his queen, the Empress, are very excited to meet my special guest here, one of the best bards you'll ever encounter, Mr. Waits. But you wait no longer.
I beg your pardon. the best bard you will ever meet. Not one of, the.
You are bard. Are you're good? Is that what you're saying? Can I
am not good, my friend.
give me a few
agree.
fiddles of your strings there, and let me see if you're as good.
Oh, Bessie.
You are. This is good. This is quite good. Why don't you there? And he points to you, Amar. You wait right here, and I'll go and take your friend, your dwarven friend here, and we'll go and I'll introduce you to the Emperor and the Empress. They will be quite excited to see him.
Oh, I have a line on so much entertainment, not quite of Mr. Waits' quality, because obviously he's spectacular, but close to. And I would be more than happy to barter the funneling of these willing subjects to your king.
Business.
Think of
I'll
how
accept this,
Think of
yes.
how resplendent. Yes.
I'll accept this. Just follow my lead, and yes. You're taken into the Emperor's
Tap your cigar. Business.
private chambers. You see the Emperor, kind of a husky orc, very tall, dressed in very similar garb. Like, he looks ridiculous. But then you see the Empress, and at first you see this, kind of muscly, stocky woman, tall, very, very handsome looking woman. And you're like, what is this? Just a human here. And then you see she's got the slightest hint of tusks. She's very much, at first glance, you would have sworn she was just a human. But this man walks up. My emperor, I have found you. I know your love of musicians, so I scoured the lands and I found these two for you. I would like to introduce you to Francis and Eugene. Eugene is a world-class musician, and Francis is a manager, a representative of fantastic entertainers from across the lands. And they want to set up a series of concerts and plays in your honor. And they've come here to discuss the details and to see if it would be something you would be interested in.
I can tell you have quite refined taste, based on your accoutrement. Such wonderful and fashionable, so current. And with that in mind, the current fashion across the land is to have a series of concerts across the season celebrating whoever is in rule of a keep. And so with that in mind, this would be step one of potentially bringing many more such acts and performers your way if interested.
The Emperor's kind of like, this one, you don't see any goddamn elves having fucking concerts in their castles like this. This'll be, they'll be jealous. It'll be great.
My dear Emperor and Empress, and I will do a flamboyant bow. I would absolutely not share my wonderful majesty with elves, only with the two of you, just radiant figures. Would I dare to entertain?
All right. This is fantastic. Let's give me a demo. Give me a little taste of what you can provide.
Sure. Let me talk to my friend here and let's consult about what would be the most suitable thing for you. And I wanna whisper to Waits like, I sure hope Osborne starts that fucking fire soon.
Now, during this, at first the Empress wasn't very interested in what was going on. She was watching, she was paying attention, but it's kind of when you got closer and when you two started talking, you could see her face really turned. It almost went sour on her. And now she's just got this really stern, intense look, and she's just staring daggers through the two of you.
Oh, interested in the wrong way.
So yeah, you two can have your moment.
Empress is staring daggers at myself and Amar, correct?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
At Francis and Eugene.
Yep.
That's not good.
Needed a little
Garfunkel.
coaching. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can win her over.
So I will begin my like 10-minute sample. A long, long time ago, I can still remember
I'll need you to go ahead and roll for this too, man.
how
Oh,
the
no.
music used to make me smile. Okay. All right, so it's that. I get my gear bonus. That's 2 successes.
Okay, yeah. Not the best performance you've ever given, but better than any regular musician out there.
Covering
And
somebody else's work.
the Orc King is just watching and listening. Doesn't seem to really follow what's going on. Watching intently. And then when you're finished with your song, the servant, this, skeezy looking human, like, oh, this is wonderful, wonderful, the best music I've ever heard. And as soon as he starts into it, talking about how great it was, the king's like, yeah, it was fantastic. Yes, wonderful, a true musician, wonderful.
Thank you, Emperor. Thank you. It's very good.
The Empress stands up from her chair. That was quite good. My king, if you would excuse me for a minute, I need to have a quick word with that one. And she points to you, Amar. You, musician, another song to keep my husband entertained.
Absolutely, my dear. Madam.
She won't make you roll, but Amar, she takes you off into a side door. And you're standing in a small setting room, and she turns and she looks at you. And she's wearing this cloak with the giant ruby around her neck.
Yeah.
And she takes the clasp off of it, and she pops the ruby out, and she hands it to you. Give me the other one.
The other one meaning weights?
No, the fake ruby.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that detail. So yeah. So I say, so you're not wanting to have genocide yourself then, and I hand it to her as I say.
What does that even mean? And she clicks it in.
So let me tell you this. Wait, I have a willpower. I can spend a willpower to convince anybody of anything.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, let me tell you this. I do know that in so doing and handing us this, you're doing a brave thing for your people and for people outside of here. Fuck, I've really put myself in it this time. I'm going to spend a willpower to make you think I was making a joke.
Okay.
I assume she was in on the plan, but I misread it. So I'm going to say, oh, nothing, just a bit of poor merchant humor and convince her with my willpower point that my manipulation was true, hopefully. Bit of bad humor there. I hand it over.
Yeah, she takes it, she snaps it in. She's very confused about the statement you made.
Sure.
She's like, now I have done my part.
And I have done mine. Thank you very much.
And you two are realizing you're kind of might be having different conversations.
Yeah, I think we're both looking at each other like that, like.
And she stops. She's like, I don't want. The stone has to go.
Oh, it's leaving.
But why are you taking it?
Why are you giving it?
Because the ghosts of the ancestors have instructed me that if I wanted to be rid of this cursed thing, that 2 entertainers would come, and I saw them in a dream.
So, yes, now it makes sense to me. See, the genocide I was talking about was upon your family line, the curse. I thought you didn't know about the curse and there was something else going on here.
You're going to need to give me a test to see if you can pull that wool.
Okay.
Such wool. The damn sweater.
2 successes.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know anything about a family line. I'm just tired of that goddamn elf whispering in my husband's ear. You have your stone. Get out of here now.
So many strange things about the stone. Thank you. And then I just hightail it to weights.
So yeah, after you two perform a handful of songs for the emperor, he's like, Gala, go ahead and put them up in one of the guest rooms. Make sure they're not disturbed tonight.
Yes, we do need beauty sleep for our performer. Thank you.
And this dude, he's like, very well. And he escorts you two out. And kind of as soon as he gets out of the court, his facade kind of drops. Oh, thank God. I'm glad that went well. Listen, you guys don't know how much of a favor you're doing me here tonight. Like his weird little whiny accent kind of drops. He's like, I am going to get so much fucking money and ass from this. He's going to be so happy.
Oh, I agree. So much money and ass. Yes, to our rooms, please.
And he escorts you up a couple floors in this castle. Put you to really... yeah.
So, wait. Go back to that whole money thing. Who is it you're getting money
Him.
from?
The Emperor.
Emperor. Okay, he's giving you money.
Listen,
for us doing the thing where we said
the better I do at making the Emperor thinks he's some fancy asshole, the more he rewards me.
I got it. I'm a little slow. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I just sang a bunch, you know. I got you. I'm putting it together now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, you guys are prisoners here too. You know that, right?
bring performers. Oh, we kind of caught something like that. Yeah, that seemed to be maybe what was implied.
Like of the moment, or?
Well, you signaling to Amar, he'll probably let you go so you can bring back more musicians. You there, buddy. I hope you're comfortable here.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, wherever he's put up, I'm put up. Even if they let me go, I don't let my talent, get damaged protecting my trade here. So, if you're throwing him in the slammer tonight, I'll be going with. That's fine with you.
We're only going to put you in the slammer if you try to escape. If you're going to be if you're going to play along, live here in the big house. Good food. Cushy life.
Sounds fine with me.
Yeah,
certainly.
Maybe teach a couple classes in the school every now and then.
Let's not go too far. But yeah, I'll stay here.
Right.
I think I'd like to, given that Waits and I have been together so long, give him the look like, fine, let's just get put up for tonight and wait for the distraction. Like, we both know we're waiting for that. So I'm just going to give him the look like humor the guy, which is why I was like, sure, money and ass. Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. And this is actually, we're 10 minutes from time. So I think this is a good resting point. We'll pick up next time with the prison break and the distraction and seeing how that all plays out.
Or doesn't.
So what do we need to do? We need to do experience
Should
points.
be lots of sleepy folk.
Lots of sleepy folk, yeah. This was exciting. I like the moral conundrum you all got put into.
I think so many of us have stuff to do with slavery in our backgrounds at any time they're prisoners. Plus, our first session, we fought Rust Brothers over the potential enslavement of people. Like, that's just been a thing. Like, I don't see us ever shying away from that morally as a group.
Yeah. All right, so let's do initiative. Everyone, please keep track of your own. Did you participate in the session? Yes, we all did. That's 1 point.
I did it.
Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map? That's a no.
I did not.
Did you discover a new adventure site? Yeah. Well, no, you discovered Eye of the Rose last time, I think. So I'm going to say no.
Still kind of a no, yeah.
Did you defeat one or more monsters? Yes, you defeated 22 of them.
So we get one per monster.
That
correct?
is a false right there.
Damn it. I tried, everybody.
Did you find a treasure, 1 gold or more?
I did.
We found those books.
Yeah, you guys got books.
Book
Dan's got an artifact book. Yeah. So
Yeah, about those books.
I'll say everyone can take
a for my distraction.
Yeah, everyone can
Nice.
take a point for that. I'll let that be a group find. We did not build a function of the stronghold. Did you activate your pride? I don't think anyone activated your pride. Here's the big one. Who all suffered from their dark secret? Jen, that's a big yes. Anyone else have a dark secret pertaining to this?
My silver's already spent, so probably no.
That's a no for you. Did you risk your life for another PC? Does anyone think they meant that?
I don't think so. This was pretty tame today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Isn't all the plan that
maybe
we're doing
Waits-
kind of?
Maybe Waits and Amar did because they just walked right into the king's stronghold.
Well, that could be the next question. Did you perform any kind of extraordinary action?
Well, and at the same time, we went through the guards and went through the kitchen and went through the prison. So,
I'll allow
I killed a
that
snake
too.
with another snake.
That's also, okay.
I jumped over fire past poisonous asps and
Sure.
ran like hell.
Everyone, take a point for that one as well.
I think
played
just kicking
American
a lot of
Pie.
asp.
You did, Jeff.
Yeah, you played.
kicking a lot of asp. There it is.
All right, so we'll call that the session. Next week we'll pick up with part 2 of the plan and see how that works out. I don't know. We don't need to linger on here. Let's go through and do our plugs. Defenders of Cobalt is where you can primarily find us. Twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. We run stuff on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Well, Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays, we're going to be alternating between spectaculars. And starting not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, we're kicking off a brand new campaign. We're doing Rime of the Frostmaiden, the new D&D 5th Ed campaign, but we're doing it with Dark Trails, the Weird West Dungeon Crawl Classics setting. And what else? On Fridays, we're going to be alternating. This coming Friday, we're kicking off a brand new... this Friday, we're kicking off a brand new Mutant Year Zero campaign over on Defenders of Cobalt. The opposing Fridays, we have our Evil 5th Ed game. Saturdays, you can either find us here on Free League Publishing, or you can find us over on Goodman's Games Official, running Twitch games there. We have zines up for sale. Dan Dies in the End. Just look for us on Drive-Thru RPG. Let's see. What else? I'll do Friendin. Friendin does art, and you can buy Friendins wherever Friendins are sold. Check him out almost daily on twitch.tv/Friendin. He draws awesome things, and it's often poppin' crew. And also, if you head over there, you can get the link to his Discord, so you can talk art things. Jeff, I'll let you plug your stuff, because you got stuff.
Yeah, so literally in an hour and 6 minutes over on twitch.tv/thelollygaggers, I'll be playing Mutant Year Zero, the Gen Lab Alpha campaign. So you can catch that. And then we also play here on the Free League Publishing channel every other Monday, including this coming Monday, where Chuck, Dan, myself, and a few others, we play Vaesen. So you can come check that out. It's at night, so it's 9 Central. So yeah, so just go over, if you're watching, come join us in an hour and 5 minutes and watch some Mutant Year Zero over on twitch.tv/thelollygaggers.
Good times. And that's it. Buy our zine, Dan Dies in the End. And that's all we got. We don't need to linger. It was a good game. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll be back here in this game in 2 weeks. We'll catch you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Where's it at?